Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is a story about what if Naruto snaps at his family harem. Before I start, please support for more amazing content and do consider subscribing to my channel and share this video with your friends. This is written by Taningco, link in description and support writer. Let's start the video. A young teen of 15 remained silent, not making a single sound nor motion lest he be discovered. His hair was a brilliant shade of gold, as if it had been kissed by the sun itself, with red stripes running through it that have it add almost fiery appearance. On either cheek, 3 whisker marks adorned the lightly tanned skin on his face. He watched the scene from a great distance with his bright blue eyes. The question as to why he was doing this does come to mind, so the answer shall be explained. First off, to answer what he was observing, it was 2 girls. Both had red hair, but the difference was that one had violet gray eyes, while the other's eyes were a shade of blue not unlike his own. They were Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze, the violet-eyed one, and Narumi Uzumaki Namikaze, the blue-eyed one. Both were at the age of 11 and were twin sisters. Their parents were none other than Minato Namikaze and Kushina Uzumaki. Minato Namikaze was a man who had earned the moniker, the Yellow Flash of Konoha, due to his use of his famous technique, the Hiraishin no Jutsu Flying Thunder God technique, that literally brought about the end of the Third Great Shinobi World War. The man dubbed the Yellow Flash was also known as the Yondaime Hokage of the Konoha. Kushina Uzumaki was affectionately dubbed the Red Hot Habanero by her peers, but on the battlefield and outside of the village, she was the Red Mistress of Death that was known for her fearsome prowess in the fields of Kenjutsu, Fuinjutsu and, one of her trademark abilities, to be able to craft spike chains of pure chakra that could act to restrain even a creature as mighty as a Biju. Naruto and Narumi were both the blonde's younger twin sisters, and thus he shared the blood of Minato and Kushina, as they were also his parents. Now why would a child of both the strongest Konoha shinobi would be watching from afar? The reason being both his twin sisters each held 1/2 of the massive amount of chakra that had once been the Kyuubi no Kitsune. Naruto held the yang, while Narumi held the yin, leaving Naruto being the third wheel side dish unwanted toy, the non-precious. Well, you get the picture. On the day of the twins' births, the Kyuubi had attacked Konoha. Now the original plan devised by the Yondaime was for him to perform the sealing ritual known as the Shiki Fuin Reaper Death Seal that would allow him to seal the 2 halves of the Kyuubi's chakra into his daughters at the cost of his own life, as the Shiki Fuin required him to sacrifice his soul to the Shinigami, the god of death. The plan was successful, but with one detail being changed. In an act of desperation that saved the children a fatherless life, Hiruzen Sarutobi, the Sandaime Hokage and Minato's predecessor, knocked out Minato and took his place to seal away the Kyuubi into Narumi and Naruto. Kushina was able to survive her Biju being extracted due to her using a seal that Mito Uzumaki planted, just in case the Kyuubi were to be forcefully extracted. The seal would heal her chakra coils and replenish them with the purified yokai the seal stored. Minato told the events of what happened with the Kyuubi, how the beast was controlled by a masked man, which had proven to be a blow to the Uchiha since, from history, the Sharingan was rumored to control the beast. Then he announced to the villagers of the 2 heroes his daughters. For years he tried to get their attention to train him and be part of the family, but alas, it was for naught. He could still remember their words. Flashback 5 years ago. Busan-Kasan. A little Naruto called out to both his parents with a hopeful tone, which they somehow didn't notice. The 2 young parents stopped their current task of relaxing on the couch. The 2 shared looks of surprise, as if they were shocked to see him, which was odd to him. Oh hey Naruto. What is it? Minato asked. Naruto was still a bit surprised by his father and mother's surprise of seeing him. Did they not have been expecting him, or was it that they thought he wasn't downstairs and in his bedroom or something? He quickly shook his head free of the unnecessary thoughts before bringing up what he planned to ask them. Can I train with both Naruto and Nanami now? Naruto asked, hoping that they would accept. Ever since they could learn to walk, the twins had received the lion's share of training. They received training in its entirety, but Naruto wasn't taught anything, and so far, he was feeling very left out. Sorry Naru-chan, but we have to train the twins. Just be patient. Kushina said, not knowing this was the 100th time or had forgotten that this was the 100th time he asked. Naruto's eyebrow twitched in annoyance. Every single time he asked, that was the response he would get. His mother would tell him to be patient and his father would make no comment whatsoever. It was frustrating, and for a 6-year-old who inherited his mother's temper, it led to him finally snapping. Naruto's anger was paramount. Why can't you teach us all at once? Naruto snapped. I'm always left out. I'm the one that never gets to do anything while the twins get everything. Why? His words were reduced to nothing as Kushina rose from her seat and walked up to Naruto. She reared back her hand, and Naruto's eyes were wide with shock as he felt the force of his mother's slap. Her own rage came forth verbally now. How dare you raise and snap your voice at us, young man? We told you be patient, you ungrateful brat. Their training is very important, more than your request for the love of Kami. We provide a roof over your heads, food to eat and clothes to wear, and you have the audacity to raise your voice at us. Your mother is correct, Naruto. Minato said. The training of our daughter's training is important, much more than yours is at the moment. Now go to your room and don't come out for a month. Minato's voice was stern, but lacked the volume like his wife's. Apparently, they were both unaware of the impact their words had on their eldest child. Naruto couldn't take it anymore and ran back to his room, but was able to hear what his parents said. Honestly, I think we may have been spoiling him too much. He heard Minato's voice. I agree, but let's put that aside and go back with the twins. I want them to learn the Uzumaki sword style, and you promised them you would teach them your Rasengan. He heard Kushina's voice, having already forgotten about him, judging from how happy her tone was. Flashback end. Over the course of 9 years, both his parents paid more attention to the twins once they were ready to train. For the longest time, not once did they pay attention to him, not once did they do what he would suggest for a family activity. It would always be what the twins wanted. He was pretty much ignored. Even his godparents, Tsunade Senju and Jiraiya, ignored him. This resulted in the involvement of anyone who was friends with his family or were their students. Hell, some people even believed that he was the Kyuubi who was stripped of his power, trapped in human flesh and being guarded by them. Some even attacked him in hopes to kill the demon brat, the stain of humanity, etc. So his sisters were praised as heroes, while he was an outcast. He wasn't able to tell his parents, since his wounds would heal quickly, having no proof, and even when he did that one time they scolded him. They assumed he did something reckless to get himself in such a state. He would have told them otherwise had it not been for the killing intent they were concentrating on him. It got worse over the years to the point where they would lock him outside of the clan compound to sleep on the cold streets. He would eat on his own since his mother would forget to cook for him and even buy his own clothes, which was difficult since he was being sold goods that were overpriced, so instead he would look at the clothes people would throw out and salvage them for his own. Remembering those memories made him sad and made his blood boil to no end. It was like he was ready to pop any minute now. Naruto-kun, calm yourself please. I don't like seeing you like this. The melodious tone instantly put his troubled mind at ease. Naruto quickly made his way to his mindscape. There, sitting by a sakura tree, was a woman. The woman was sitting on a chair while sipping on some tea. She brushed back a stray lock of hair, had long flowing silver hair that reached all the way to her round firm ass. The woman had a perfect hergless figure, slightly pale skin, F-cup breasts, and she was wearing an elegant gold and silver robe that hugged her figure. But the most noticeable feature was her eyes. 3 concentric circles decorated her crimson eyes, 3 tomo laying on the outline of each circle in a triangular formation. Her pointy ears, from what he have read from fairy tales he was able to read, were like elf ears. Stretching forth from her tailbone, 10 silver and black tails swished lazily behind her. Her beauty would be considered unparalleled. Men and women alike would lust after her and envy her if they ever got the chance to gaze upon perfection incarnate, woman jealous. And perfection's name was Siko, the Juubi no Bakemono, the 10-tailed beast, and the primordial of the shinobi world. Hello, Naruto-kun. Siko greeted the young blonde. Now that you've calmed down, how are you feeling? She asked with a brilliantly kind smile on her face, though the sharp canines gave the affectionate expression a hint of mischief. Hey Siko-chan. I'm fine now, thanks to you. I was just remembering some stuff. Naruto said solemnly. The second he said that, the silver-haired woman rose from her chair. Resting her teacup on the grass-covered ground of the mindscape, Siko made her way over to the boy. Naruto's eyes widened when he was enveloped in a loving hug. It was because of my foolishness that you and everyone in this world live such a harsh life. She said sadly. Years ago she allowed a priestess to eat a fruit from her tree, thus allowing people to use the ability of chakra. She originally thought that humans wouldn't have been able to fully harness such power, but she was proven wrong. The humans were able to harness the power, to use chakra to wage wars against one another. She wanted to end the war, so she transformed into her beast form in order to reclaim the chakra the humans were using. What she didn't account for was the son of the priestess having gained a portion of her heavenly eye, the Rinnegan or Samsara eye. The eyes of a god which gave the young man the ability him to fight her, defeat her and then split her form into the 9 biju. Her body was then sealed away using a power of the Rinnegan, Chibaku Tensei, a technique that generated a concentrated area of gravitational energy that drew the earth itself towards it. A technique that literally created the moon. This was the power of the man dubbed Rakuto Sennin, the sage of 6 paths. But even though she was sealed in the moon, she was still able to watch. With her body lost and power restrained, her spirit was forced to wander as she watched the evolution of the world through the eyes of her segments, the biju, who held a portion of her power, and through the seal itself. Though it was agonizingly slow, the seal that was the moon was weakening due to ravages of time. She would be free, but without her body she would fade away. So she made a decision to wait for the right opportunity to find a container. It was on the day of the Kyuubi's attack that the Kyuubi took the opportunity to transfer herself into a vessel. The vessel was Naruto. She used the knowledge she picked up when the Kyuubi was sealed inside Mito Uzumaki about the knowledge of seals and made it her own. The seal would allow her to share her power with her vessel only when she deemed him, Naruto, fit to use such power. Over the years, she observed how he was extremely poorly treated, how every time he would ask his parents to train him, they would brush him off saying to stop annoying them or leave them alone, and then continue to train the twins. The worst was how the village would ostracize him for absolutely no reason and beat him due to the idiotic belief that he was somehow the Kyuubi incarnate. Even when they were told that the twins held the Kyuubi's power within them. For an intelligent species, she could feel her IQ drop just from watching them. She would always do her best to heal her Naruto-kun. It was only during this time when she realized her feeling for him. Contrary to what people believed, each Biju did have their own emotion that they inherited from her, so she knew what this feeling was. Love. She had fallen for him. However, she was afraid to admit it since it was also because of her he was suffering like this. She recalled the day they first met. It was after he cried himself to sleep after his request from his parents. Flashback. From the seal, Seiko saw how harsh his parents' actions were towards him. They didn't even catch just how much of an impact they had on his stability, both mental and emotional. They didn't even see how his heart finally shattered right then and there. It is time that we meet Naruto-kun. She thought to herself as she waited him to fall asleep, or in this case, cry himself to sleep. After Naruto fell asleep he expected a nightmare to assault him like they always did whenever he fell asleep. Like how his parents were leaving him behind, how the villagers would beat him up or the harsh words he would always hear. However, instead of the nightmare he found himself standing before a gargantuan mass of black and silver. His eyes scanned the body. There was no true way to describe what he saw other than it being a massive beast, a demon. In the center of its face, a single eye glowed with power. The eye appeared similar to a Sharingan, only there were 3 layers of Tomo surrounding the pupil. But the most shocking aspect was the 10 tails that waved behind the demonic entity. JJ Juubi. Naruto stuttered not in fear, but in shock. From the history books he had read the Juubi was supposed to be sealed away in the moon, so how the Juubi here? But what also shocked him was he wasn't afraid to be near the Juubi. It was like he knew the great primordial, but how was the question? Finally we get to meet each other, Naruto-kun. She said in a feminine tone. A sudden flash of light and instantly the Juubi transformed into her human form. Beautiful. Was the only word that could come out from his mouth as he saw what appeared to be a goddess. A toothy grin found its way to the Juubi's face. Why thank you Naruto-kun. I happen to find you cute. She said. Thanks. The 6-year-old replied. So should I call you Juubi-sama or something? Why are we even here? Where is here to begin with? Why are you here in particular because you are supposed to be locked away in the moon and… Deep breaths, Naruto-kun. Naruto stopped his rambling at the calm, yet commanding, tone of the 10-tailed beast. He took a couple of deep breaths and nodded his head to show he was calm now. Now then, to answer your questions no, Juubi-sama is not required, we're here because I made it so, we are in your mindscape, and as to why I am here within your mindscape, that is actually what I wanted to bring up first. If you're willing to listen that is. Of course I am. The primordial being laughed a bit at her container's enthusiasm before complying. The Juubi quickly told him the events leading to her being inside of Naruto. I want to say I'm sorry Naruto-kun. If I didn't allow that priestess to eat the fruit from my tree, then the world would never have been how it is now, the Biju would have never existed, and you wouldn't be treated the way you are being treated now. She bowed her head low. Forgive me for my past mistakes, Naruto-kun. Naruto stared at the beast-turned beauty. I don't really get most of the beginning, but I do understand that you didn't mean for any of this happen. You were just being nice and well it ended up biting you in the ass. Naruto said with a hollow laugh. The Juubi's frown deepened, but then her eyes widened when the boy walked up to her and cupped her face in his hands to force her to look into his eyes. I don't blame you, Juubi-chan. It was their actions not yours that made everything the way it is now. Even if you didn't allow her to eat the fruit humans would still find a way to obtain power. I wouldn't even be surprised if they would try and steal the fruit for themselves, but if it makes you feel any better I forgive you, even though there is nothing to forgive, since it wasn't you who abused me, and it wasn't you who ignored me. From what I feel, your presence was the same when my wounds were healing, it was you who was somehow keeping me alive, it was you who would shut away my nightmares. So how can I be angry when you were the entire time protecting me? This made her eyes widen even further as she looked at the child's smiling face. This boy, no this young man he's different. Maybe just maybe the silver-haired woman's vision blurred as tears lined her eyes. She then wrapped the young man in a tight hug, one he was quick to return. Thank you Naruto-kun, but the truth was I was doing that to protect myself since if you die, I die. But as the years went by, my interest in you turned to love. It was first motherly love, but then it turned into love for someone that I want to be with. I know a demon such as myself doesn't deserve love, but give me a chance, and I will show you how much I do love you," the Jubi said. This made Naruto's eyes widen at her confession, and slowly his eyes filled with tears, not of sadness, but of joy. "Thank you, Jubi-chan. Though I don't really get love, so forgive me if I don't immediately return your feelings, but maybe when I get older I'll understand it better. But I will do my best to make you happy so long as you don't ever leave me," Naruto said, hugging her tightly, afraid that if he let her go she might vanish. A childish thought, but he was only 6 after all. "I promise I won't leave you. Oh, my name is Siko. Jubi is just a title. Also, Naruto, would you like to train? Since I view the memories of the other Biju, I can train you using what they learned, that is if you are willing," she said with a beautiful smile on her face. Hell yeah. Flashback ends. For the past 5 years Jubi taught Naruto everything she knew from in her mindscape. She trained him in ninjutsu, taijutsu, kinjutsu and the ninjutsu she gave him. The Shin no Me, the Truai, the Rin Sharingan. In addition this, she helped him improve his stealth, survival skills, reading, writing, cooking, politics, math, science, weapon forging and a bit of music. Basically she taught him everything he lacked in. She also told him to train in a secluded area, and luckily there was one. Training ground 44, the Forest of Death. At first, Naruto was afraid of going to such a place since there were creatures said to be vicious, but Siko told him to leak some of her yokai so as to let them know not to mess with him. So the Jubi had him train his physical strength, speed, endurance, stamina, hunting skills, reaction time by having him confront some animals inside the forest, his chakra control and the jutsu she taught him. The first jutsu, which was his favorite, was Kage Bunshin no Jutsu Shadow Clone Technique. Unlike regular clones, they were solid and at a fraction of the original's power, and they also sent whatever they learned back to the original, which was great for training. They were also great for sparring so he could refine his skills. She also told Naruto about the perks of being her container. Aside from the ninjutsu, she told him about how he had control over the elements, including the yin, darkness, and yang, light. She told him about the malleable chakra, which was a defensive and offensive jutsu. She told him how he could nullify jutsu by absorbing the chakra used in them to replenish his own. Aside from training, they also spend time with each other, making their bonds grow. Now as for his Rin Sharingan, he was told how it worked. Apparently it was an accumulation of a select few abilities of the 3 known to jutsu into one form. Like the Sharingan, he was able to copy, predict his opponent's movements and jutsu. It also gave him access to certain techniques without the fear of going blind or insane. These were Kamui, Amaterasu, Susanoo, and Tsukiyomi. He gained the Rinnegan abilities of gravity control in the form of Shinra Tensei, Bansho Tenin, Chibaku Tensei and Rinbo Hengoku. In addition to this, he had access to the 6 paths. Human, Asura, Animal, Naraka, Preta, Diva, and the outer paths, which enable him to use the samsara of heavenly life. Siko advised him to just use his Kage Bunshins rather than to try to and control all the paths by himself. Naruto himself would be taught to master the outer path though. He also had elements of the Byakugan, which gave him the ability to see a full 360 degrees around and see his opponent's Tenketsu and their chakra pathways, enabling him to block or sever each. To do this, Siko had Naruto infiltrate the Hyuga compound since they were the only ones that had techniques that Naruto could use for this feature of the true eye and memorize how to use said feature, as he was also gifted with photographic memory. She also trained Naruto in using his Uzumaki special trait, that is, their ability to mold chakra into weapons. An example being Kushina's chakra chains. Naruto learned how to shape his chakra not just in a form of chains, but also swords, bows, spears, shield, heck even clothing or armor. When Naruto asked her how was he able to do this, she answered it was because of his dense chakra, that and it was further enhanced with her being sealed inside him. She also had Naruto learn to create his own technique that weren't available for his affinity and his sub-affinity. She also had Naruto copy each technique and seals from his own parents, such as the Hirishin no Jutsu and Rasengan. She told Naruto to combine his affinities with the Rasengan to make a more devastating technique. But aside from training, they also spent time with each other in his mindscape. Naruto would always make things from his imagination to change the landscape, since he figured if he couldn't date her in the real world, why not in his mind? This allowed him to repay her for everything she had done for him and show her a great time, and Siko also gave Naruto a great time, though not in the form of sex, since he was still very young. She would always laugh when she would recall the day she gave him the talk. After that, Naruto would always blush whenever he could come into contact with her body. Siko chuckled as she too was going down memory lane, but was brought back when Naruto was calling her. "I'm sorry Naruto-kun, but did you say something?" she asked. Naruto chuckled as it seems he was right when he guessed that she was taking a walk down memory lane. So have you decided on what you're going to do, Naruto-kun? The 10-tailed demon mistress asked. I have. Besides, everything is set, I got him to sign the papers. He replied. He didn't even read it. Also, by tomorrow morning my sword should be finished. Now with that said, let's put it aside and rest. Naruto said, getting a nod of agreement from his mate, and soon they let blissful slumber take them. And the golden rays of the sun poked through whatever small spaces they could to provide nourishment for the plants below. A difficult task due to the dense canopy that made up the upper layers of vegetation in the forest of death. Naruto was currently resting beneath one of the massive trees native to the dangerous forest after ultimately deciding to stay since he felt more at home here than with the people that were family and nothing but blood. He stayed in the forbidden zone of the forest of death since it provided him the perfect place for him to train and not be disturbed by anyone who might be venturing in the forest. The wildlife didn't bother him either, which was a plus in anyone's book. Giant bears, giant centipedes, giant wolves, giant snakes, there was a lot of giant carnivores in the forest, but once you didn't bother them, they would do you no harm. Unless they were hungry, of course, in which case Naruto, or rather Siko, would release a small burst of yokai warning them not to come any closer when they wished to enter his personal bubble. Said bubble had a wide berth, so some of the animals learned to not enter Naruto's safety zone. The vessel of the Juubi no Bakemono took a deep breath of air and released a contented sigh. To some it may be death's playground, but for Naruto it felt like home. Naruto would make a clone to withdraw some cash from his former clan's account so he can buy some cloths, survival tools, and necessary materials needed to maintain his hygiene. Naruto would sometimes order the clone to check if his former family noticed he was gone, but fortunately, with a tad of unfortunately, the people he would have called his family had met his expectations as they haven't noticed that he wasn't even at the dining table when they were eating breakfast. Since he stayed in the forest of death, Naruto made his own home with the help of his wood release technique to make a small treehouse. Above the treehouse he could see the whole forest including the village. It helps when you have a very powerful Dojutsu that acts like a telescope to observe if any things had changed with his former family, but after a week he gave up. Clearly they hadn't even noticed him gone. If anything, they seemed to be more happy about it. He also kept an eye on the civilian populace for just-in-case purposes, but Naruto paid them no mind since he didn't care for their opinions, nor did he try to change their views on him since he simply did not care for any of them at all. He could care less if the village was invaded and all the men turned into slaves, the women were forced to be nothing more than mere sex toys or amusement, yes, even his own sister or mother. It showed how he gave up on this place along with its people, and he could justify it. The people of this village had made him into an outcast, branded him a demon, tried multiple times to kill him, and his own family denied him his existence by ignoring him. Hell, he even heard some villager ask his former parents about it and they either laughed at them or told them to go away or stop making jokes or lies. But he didn't care since he already had his piece of happiness and soon he'd finally be rid of this place for good. He already got the document signed that emancipated him from his clan. Minato didn't even raise an eyebrow or notice what it was, nor did the young Hokage notice that this was the first time in the longest time that Naruto had approached him away from the compound. He didn't even take in his new appearance. But at least now he was rid of them in all but blood, but he'd find a way to change that eventually. The important parts of the document were that he, Naruto, would be the only one that could break the contract, 55% of the clan finances and scrolls would go to him, Naruto, and they can't force him, Naruto, to break the contract. Naruto woke up with a satisfied grin on his face. The clearly said I just had sex. Naruto made 2 clones to catch some fish in the nearby lake while he took a look at his new weapon. It seems your weapon is finally finished, but what would you call it? Siko asked. Naruto thought on it for a moment. He needed a name that would complement the weapon's abilities and features. Naruto spun the weapon around in his hands and watched with childish glee as it shifted into its gun mode and then back into its blade form. The sounds of the form changes were like music to his ears and thus the name came to him. Unblade Overture, that will be its name. Naruto said with a satisfied smile on his face. Naruto quickly grasped the handle of Overture, then horizontally slashed a tree, making a perfectly clean cut along the thick bark. With a quick twitch of the wrist, Overture changed to its gun mode. Naruto then fired off 3 condensed chakra bullets, the concussive rounds piercing each tree that Naruto targeted. Then Naruto concentrated in channeling his fire affinity to Overture. Now let's see if this works. Come on, give me fire bullets. He said with a hopeful tone of voice. He pressed his finger on the trigger and his eyes brightened as the gun blade fired off 3 fire bullets. Satisfied with the results, Naruto changed Overture back to its blade mode and then sheathed it. Are you satisfied with the results, love? Siko asked. Naruto chuckled as he was indeed happy with the results. Yes, I am. Overture is able to handle my chakra, allowing me to fire off a condensed chakra bullet. I'll call that technique ruin for a small portion of chakra if I want to knock them out. Then I'll have the ruinga for a high portion of chakra if I want to kill my opponent off. I was also further pleased that Overture was able to fire off elemental bullets. Naruto said with a large smile that threatened to split his face. Well, I'm very happy that my lover is happy gaining a new toy, but for now go take a shower, then go and buy the items we need for our departure, Siko said, reminding him on the task at hand. Yeah, don't worry. I'll send some cage buncheons to withdraw some cash from my former clan's accounts, then have them hinged to buy the supplies we need. Naruto said. True to his word, the blonde immediately made 4 clones, ordering them to get everything ready for their departure. Naruto then made his way to the lake and washed himself before returning to the treehouse to change into a clean set of clothes. Once he was fully clothed, he decided to try out some of combat techniques with Overture atop the lake, but paused in doing so as he felt an odd sensation and noise reach his body and ears, respectively. Siko, something is resonating from further in the forest. Think we should check it out? Naruto asked. The Juubi no Bakemono hummed in thought within her lover's mindscape before nodding. Go on ahead. I am also curious as to what could cause such things, but be on your guard, Naruto-kun. Siko said. Naruto nodded and leaped into the brush to search for the source of his rising curiosity. After a few minutes of hopping from tree branch to tree branch, the blonde vessel came to a stop when he arrived at his destination. He dropped down and his blue eyes widened in amazement as he began to glance around the area. Naruto was surprised to find a forest full of sakura trees. Wow, this place would be perfect for our first date or wedding. Naruto said. Siko blushed at the idea Naruto had. I agree, but does it seem strange that this place is full of sakura trees? Go further in, Naruto-kun, the source may be deeper within. She said. As he ventured further into the forest of pink, Naruto could feel that whatever power was within the rose-colored forest was connected to each of the cherry blossom tree if the power coming off them was any indication. It was like a thread that was connected to a single source, and whatever that source was, it was very powerful. Be on your guard, Naruto-kun. Whatever is at the end of this forest is powerful, do not underestimate it. Siko warned her lover. Naruto nodded and drew Overture from its sheath. Naruto arrived at the middle of the forest and saw the source of power he was feeling. He was in shock to find the source was a woman. One whose beauty was on par with Siko's, he noticed. Though the light growl from said Juubi made him aware that she was not exactly pleased with hearing that thought. The unknown woman was currently sitting on a large boulder, letting her legs dangle from her perch. She had long, light pink hair, pale blue-colored eyes and slightly tanned skin. She wore a purple dress with a flowering design that accented the curves of her figure, namely her wide hips and C-cup breasts. On her feet were a pair of metallic pink high heels. Naruto gazed upon her and was instantly entranced by her beauty. She was the second person he had ever met, aside from Siko, whom he thought was the most beautiful woman in all of the elemental nations. What is the name of the warrior who has ventured into my forest? She asked. Though she asked a question, the stern tone that accompanied it showed that she demanded an answer. Naruto shook off his trance and addressed her, deciding it would be wise to bow first before doing so. My name is Naruto. I am sorry for trespassing on your domain, fair goddess. I mean no disrespect. I was generally curious of the power that was coming from your forest. Naruto explained in a respectful tone while holding his bow. The woman rose from her sitting position and in an instant she was in front of him. He kept his eyes on her feet and restrained his feeling of surprise and the movement that would come with it. However, he had yet to feel any sort of killing intent, nor was Siko telling him she was hostile, so he just let her presence remain where it was. The mysterious woman placed her hand on the left side of his head and Naruto felt like something was in his mind, but the feeling quickly vanished when he heard a small gasp. Please raise your head, young Naruto. She said in a gentle tone. Naruto did so and returned to his full height to face her. He was quick to bite the inside of his cheek to restrain the gasp of amazement. Ikami-sama, she looks as beautiful as Siko up close. He thought. Naruto, I have viewed your life. I am surprised that someone was able to go through what you went through and still remain sane. She said. Your fortitude in terms of your character is admirable and I am greatly impressed by that. A frown then marred her beautiful features. I am also very disappointed with your villagers, but more with your parents for ignoring you just because your twin sisters hold the Kyuubi and they believe them to be the children of prophecy. Those reasons do not justify their actions, nor was it acceptable for them to be ignoring and neglecting you. She said this time her voice was with rage and she spat the parents' part as if it were acid on her tongue. It's fine, I have already given up on them along with this village. If they don't recognize me as a person or as their son, why should I also care about them? I mean, not to sound bitter, but it is the truth. Miss Naruto gave her questioning glance, hinting for her to tell him her name. She was mildly surprised and then gained a thoughtful look before answering. Before I tell you my name, I wish to test your battle capabilities, Naruto. She requested. Naruto thought on it for a moment before shrugging nonchalantly. What was the harm? Very well, but is this going to be with weapons or are we going to do this hand to hand? Naruto asked but then blushed at the last part as some improper thoughts came to the forefront of his imagination. The pink-haired woman giggled and then waved her hand. Suddenly cherry blossoms from the sakura tree danced around into a circle before they joined together to produce a katana. The weapon was made up of a simple crossguard with an open frame, much like a four-pane window. From that simple gesture alone his mind told him to not underestimate her. Naruto unsheathed Overture and then prepared his stance and activated his Truai Dojutsu. Scatter. He heard her say. Naruto's eyes widened as the blade from her katana started to separate into thousands of tiny sakura petals, though from the uncharacteristic shine on their forms, he could tell they were most likely as sharp as the katana blade they once formed. The petals swirled around for a moment and then instantly launched themselves at him. Shit. He cursed as the tiny blades rushed at him. He knew he couldn't dodge them, so deflection was his best bet. He held out his hands in front of him and his eyes pulsed with power. Shinra Tensei. Naruto sent forth a burst of gravitational energy against the dangerous petals. His instincts then kicked in as he dodged an attack from the blade petals from behind. Naruto then shifted his hands to form the tiger seal and inhaled deeply, calling upon his fire nature chakra. Pain. Dikakyu no Jutsu Fire Release. Grand Fireball Technique. Naruto exhaled a large ball of fire towards his opponent, but what he didn't expect was for the sakura petals to encircle her, defending her from the jutsu. The fire spread across the flammable sakura petals, but they didn't seem to be turned to ashes for some odd reason. This made Naruto narrow his eyes in annoyance. Don't seem so surprised. We have yet to show our true ability. The woman directed the sakura blades at him. The worst part was they were laced with fire, making them more dangerous. Naruto changed Overture to its gun mode. He cocked the projectile firing weapon and squeezed the trigger while channeling his water nature chakra. Ringa Kwa. The bullets of pressurized water crashed against the flaming petals, effectively blocking the technique and generated a small cloud of steam. Naruto then fired off 3 shoots of water, hoping to use the steam as a way to form a surprise attack, but failed when the steam parted and showed that his attack was blocked by her blade petals once more. So her technique acts as both an offense and defense. Let's see if this could work. Naruto thought as he made a quick string of hand seals. Shakutan. Ryukaku Scorch Release. Great Dragon Breath. Naruto's technique appeared in form of a burst of crimson fire that immediately took the form of a dragon's head, glowing red eyes and all. The head of the fiery reptile unleashed a roar as it rushed towards his pink-haired opponent. The technique was once again blocked. This made Naruto think for a second. She's good. Her technique was able to defend against my Shakutan jutsu, but it seems she may have a defensive zone. I'll test that. He thought as he channeled his chakra to his feet to increase his speed. He then appeared behind the beautiful woman and twirled Overture above his head, spinning it to change it into its blade form. Spark Strike. Naruto coated his blade with his lightning element and then slashed down. However, the woman didn't even glance back at him as her sakura petal defense immediately reverted into the katana blade she once had. A burst of lightning formed from the impact, but it did neither combatant any harm. She quickly spun around, then gave him a sharp kick and with her high heels, well, it hurt like hell. That was a great effort, but it won't be that easy, Naruto. But can you tell me, what was that move? She asked, curious and amazed at how fast he got behind her. Naruto was on his knees panting, slightly winded by her kick. That move he rose to his feet as he regained his breath. Is what I called Shunpo Flash Step, which allows me to move faster than the eye can follow. The best way to characterize this is how I can get from point A to point B by the number of steps, but that's all I can say, since I don't want to fully reveal this technique to someone who I have just met. Naruto said, pride evident in his voice for his technique that he developed. A small smirk graced the woman's face. No, I understand. That technique of yours, it is very impressive. It has somehow outmatched the speed of my blades, but it won't be enough. She said. Pointing her blade downward, she released the hilt and Naruto stared in awe as the blade just hovered in the air. Tsunban Sakura Kage Ashi, vibrant display of 1,000 cherry blossoms. The sword then fell straight down. The sword phased into the ground as though it was a pool of water. Suddenly, an energy ripple expanded its radius throughout the area, turning it dark. Within a second, 2 rows of 1,000 giant blades rose up from the ground. All of the blades turned into sharp sakura blossom petals, swirling menacingly around their user. Naruto saw this as both beautiful and scary at the same time. He had only one thing to say to that. Shit just got real. The boy's blue eyes widened as he saw the blades surround him and were about to pierce him. Shinra Tenin. Naruto raised both his hands on his left and right side to push back the blade. I need to my speed in this, I got to risk it, Naruto thought. Naruto dropped his restriction seals, increasing his power level. Suddenly he was swallowed up by a wave of cherry petals. The woman thought it was over, but then she felt a presence behind her. She quickly spun around, using her hand to guide the blade. She struck him only to see him puff out of existence. She then felt a strong arm wrap around her and a sharp metal object press against her neck. "I win," Naruto stated. The woman's blue eyes widened, blinking to personify her confusion as realization followed soon after. She chuckled lightly. "Yes you have, but tell me how you figured out my hurtless area," she said. Naruto smirked. "It was earlier when my fire jutsu clashed with your technique. I theorized that you may have a defensive zone, so I confirmed it with my shunpo earlier. Your defensive zone was around 85 centimeters maximum, but I figured you could still move those petals, so I used Cage Shunpo, a combination of the Cage Bunshin and Shunpo. Now did I pass? May I know the name of the goddess I'm holding?" he asked. For a second, he could have sworn he saw a shade of pink before it vanished and was replaced with a small but beautiful smile. "It's Sakura. I am Sentient Blade Spirit and you pass as my first wielder, Naruto." The woman now identified as Sakura made Naruto's eyes widen. A sentient sword spirit. He had read about those in books about such swords, but never in his wildest dream would he have thought he would get to meet one, let alone be the wielder of such a blade. "But why did you choose me? Not that I'm not happy, but I'm just some guy you just met," Naruto said, releasing her from his grasp with a bit of reluctance. Sakura turned around, pale blue eyes meeting oceanic blue. "It's because of your will, Naruto. While others would have taken the easy way out and would have taken their own lives, you pushed on. You stayed strong to become strong. You were able to hold off against me, even though both of us were holding back, but still you won. That shows how you didn't let what happened to you affect you and persevered. That's why I chose you. If anything, this small spar just proves just how worthy of a wielder you are," she explained. Naruto paled slightly on the last part. If it was a small spar for her, what would a full-on battle be like? Naruto shuddered at the thought. "Alright, I accept you as my partner, Sen-chan, but is there any other name aside from Sakura I could call you? I figure you would want to stay in your human form if we are not in battle." How about I let you decide?" she said. Naruto thought of it for a moment and then answered. "Claire. Your name is Claire. I'll call you that if we're in crowd and I'll call you by your true name when we're alone," Naruto said with a smile. She smiled at the name he gave her and nodded in approval. "Very well. Claire shall be my name," she said. Naruto did so and suddenly the entirety of the petals from the sakura tree surrounded them, dancing around them. Naruto then gained an idea. Will the fair maiden allow this commoner to grace him with a small dance? He asked with an overly polite tone. Claire laughed lightly at the way he presented his request, but also blushed a bit as she was also a bit flustered by said request. "Very well," she replied with a curtsy to respond to his gentlemanly bow. Naruto held Claire's left hand with his left hand in front of her left shoulder. Naruto then placed his right hand against her slim waist, while Claire placed her hand on his corresponding shoulder. The basic stance for the waltz. It felt nice in her opinion since this was the first time being this close to someone. She was never one to venture into human territory, seeing as how they lusted for power, either with money or gaining status, not caring who they harmed. But something about Naruto told her he was different. He had power, but wasn't arrogant about it, nor does he abuse it. He strove to leave his past behind and worked hard to gain his power, and she found him attractive. She pushed that thought into the corners of her mind, but she would be lying to herself if she didn't find her current situation with him appealing. Petals appeared beneath her going upward, leaving him with the sword she used earlier. "Claire-chan, I hope you like your accommodation. I'll change it if you wish," Naruto thought to the sentient sword. "No need. It's perfectly fine, Naruto," she replied from Naruto's mindscape. Claire then turned her attention to her roommate. The silver-haired beauty that was the Juubi no Bakemono stood before Sakura with a welcoming smile on her face. "Hello Claire. I am the Juubi, but you can call me Siko. It is a pleasure to meet you." "Likewise, Siko. Siko, if it isn't too much trouble, I would like to know a bit more about my wielder," she requested. Siko raised an eyebrow at that and decided to tease the poor sword spirit. "Oh, you want to know about Naruto-kun? Are you trying to steal my man Claire?" she asked with a toothy smirk. No. I'm just want to know more about him," Claire exclaimed with a little blush and stutter. Siko giggled a bit. "Oh don't worry, I'm just teasing. Though I find the idea of sharing appealing. One-on-one sex does tend to lose its appeal at times and I do feel rather adventurous at times," she said, making Claire go red with embarrassment. "Well, anyways I'll tell you all about him including his sweet spots," she said, making Claire regret asking her. It was a good thing they cut off the mental link or this would be extremely embarrassing and awkward for her wielder. Naruto smiled to himself as he gained a new partner. He wondered if there would be anything else interesting would come to him today. Naruto then blinked in surprise when he just received the memory from his clones, showing him that their task was finished. Naruto used Shunpo and appeared before his treehouse. He entered his temporary home and gave it a once-over as he would be leaving it. It had only a small bed to sleep on, a small chest of drawers for his clothes and small desk where he made his seals or for just simple reading. Naruto reminisced a bit as this would be the only place that he might miss. This place, this small house he made for himself felt more like home than his former home. Well, I'll be leaving. I may miss having a good bed to sleep on, since I'll be sleeping on the ground. Naruto said to himself. Naru-kun. Siko's voice appeared in his mind. You do know that you could just store this place in a storage scroll, right? Naruto sheepishly rubbed the back of his head. I may have forgotten that. Whoops. Both female tenants sweat dropped at that, but then again he was still a kid and this could be the only time he could get to act like one. After manipulating the tree with his Mokuton techniques, which was awesome in his opinion, he brought down his small house and then stored it in a large storage scroll. He then stored that in a much more compact storage scroll. Since it would be a pain in the ass to carry a big ass scroll, this just made it more convenient. After cleaning up, he just remembered to take another bath after becoming a bit sweaty from his battle with Claire. He changed his clothes and he was now wearing a short-sleeved red shirt with the sleeves being black, a black hooded jacket that had temperature seals so that he wouldn't feel hot wearing them, black, skin-tight pants similar to those worn by the Anbu, and combat boots. He placed Senbonzakura on his left side while he placed Overture on his back. Naruto exhaled as he was finally going to be free from this place and the feeling coming from it was exhilarating. As soon as stepped out the forest of death, Naruto transformed himself as to blend with the crowd. That and he didn't want anyone to recognize him. Especially now since today was the anniversary of the Kyuubi's defeat and his former twin sister's birthday. He had often wondered if he was adopted by them since they never paid any attention, hell he always thought how he made it out of infancy, but he banished those thoughts in favor of heading for the walls of Konoha. Naruto was walking around the village, running a hand through his now midnight black hair. He then scratched his cheeks which were without his whisker marks. While most ignored his presence since he looked rather ordinary, to the few that found him attractive, the females followed after his chosen path, blushes adorning their faces. Some of the boys his age, especially those who were with the girls that were watching him, gritted their teeth and narrowed their eyes in envy and restrained jealousy. He didn't care about their opinion or what they were thinking about him. The only thing that mattered was getting the hell out of this place. He wished none of the women or men would make a scene or do something like approach him, but unfortunately Murphy's Law decided to introduce itself to him by meddling in his affairs. Hey there handsome, haven't seen you around this village before. The person in front of him had short purple hair that was tied into a spiky ponytail, giving the style and appearance resembling a pineapple. She wore a brown trench coat that barely hid her body that was only covered by a fishnet top, an orange miniskirt and blue sandals. Naruto knew who this was from the memory from his clone. Taningco Mitarashi, Snake Mistress of Konoha and second in command of Konoha's torture and interrogation department. He didn't want to get into any sort of attention or draw more towards himself, so he decided to answer quickly and leave. Well, I'm not from here you see. I'm a traveler. Now if you'll excuse me I'll take my leave. Naruto was about to walk past her till she grabbed him by the arm. Why the rush handsome? Got somewhere to go? Anko asked as she pressed her bust against his arm. Inside Siko was fuming. How dare this slut try to seduce her man? Claire was also glaring daggers at the purple-haired woman. No actually, but I need to take my leave if I want to make it to the next town. Naruto said, trying, and failing, to get the woman to leave him. However, it was to no avail as she was stubborn. He knew someone or something was fucking with him and he made a mental note to kill whatever it was trying to fuck with him. Oh? So you're just heading to the next town? Well why not enjoy yourself first? It's not like the next town you're going to will vanish unless someone would cause that, but I highly doubt something like that would happen. Why not enjoy yourself and take this sexy woman with you on a date? If not I'll shout you're sexually harassing me. She said making Naruto's eye twitch at the last part. Naruto sighed. Fine, but I won't stay long. Great, now come along. I want you to meet a couple of my friends at this dango shop. She said while dragging him. Siko-chan I need you control my emotions and chakra flux so any lie I say appears truthful. Naruto spoke. Living in a shinobi village, trying to lie was like trying to teach a goldfish to fly at times. Siko nodded. Don't worry Naru-kun. I'll handle it, just make sure anything you say isn't too over the top and be careful. If they figure us out then we have no other choice but to fight our way out. She said. Naruto inwardly nodded and prayed to Kami that whoever was trying to fuck with him would go away and die. Naruto saw the people at the dango shop where Anko was dragging him. 3 women and 3 men sat at the table, some of them waving over to her. Naruto scanned the table and identified each person there. The red-eyed woman wearing a red dress over what looked like bandages was Kurenai Yuhi Genjutsu Mistress. A feral woman wearing what looked like a medic nin uniform with fang-like tattoos on her cheeks sat with her 3 dog companions. This was Hana Inyazuka, Taijutsu Mistress and daughter of the Inyazuka clan head, Tsume Inyazuka. The third and final woman had long purple hair and was wearing a simple black t-shirt and long pants. This was Yugao Yuzuki, Kinjutsu Mistress, member of the Anbu and student to his former mother. Now moving on to the men, the first had silver, gravity-defying hair, one of the trademarks of the Jounin known as Kakashi Haddock, the copycat and student to his former father. The second man wore a horrific green spandex and thus identified to be the youthful Mido guy, Konoha's Taijutsu master. The third man was a young man currently taking a drag from a cigarette in his mouth, a sight that made one Kurenai Yuhi frown. Asuma Saratobi, son of the deceased Sandame Hokage, ignored the glare and frown and released a small streak of smoke into the air. Whoever you are trying to fuck with me one day I will find you, then I will kill you painfully. Naruto thought as his current situation just went from a simple meeting to an oh shit moment. Hey Anko, who's your friend? Asuma asked. Before she could answer, Naruto cut her off hoping that her friends would scold her and he could get away. Oh, just someone who she happened to just drag from a random crowd. He inwardly smirked as he saw them gasp and he saw Kurenai stood up. He thought she was going to scold her for her action, but to his surprise, she just looked at him. Well if she did, then she found you interesting and besides, it's a day of celebration. What's one more person? She said, shocking Naruto and causing him to curse at the entity that was doing this to him. Naruto sat calmly, but inside he was sweating. He was seated between Anko and Hana, the latter was still pushing her breasts up against his arm. So tell us where you from and what you going here? Hana decided to ask. Ah well I am originally from the Iron Country and decided to leave to see the world. You know. Travel, see the sights that kind of stuff. Naruto said making them nod. Naruto was eyeing each of them. He need to make a sort of situation that would give him an excuse to leave. He saw that Asuma was sitting beside Kurenai. He could see he was interested in her. A plan made its way to his mind. So tell me Asuma-san, Kurenai-san are the two of you together? You seem awfully close. Naruto asked. The two Jounin shook their heads. Well, I've often asked her, but she would always turn me down. Asuma said making Kurenai nod, confirming his words. Naruto inwardly grinned, he could use this to his advantage. He could get a rise out of Asuma, make him mad, getting his excuse, or he could get Kurenai mad if not Asuma. Either way, he'll get a reason to leave. Well there are reasons why a woman would turn you down. One would be that she's playing for the other team or possibly both which would go for the other reason. 2. She's already with someone or she already found someone who she's interested in. 3. She simply does not find you appealing, she has no sort of interest or she has certain tastes. Either that or she's just leading you on. Naruto said making the others look at him. Naruto chuckled inwardly as he knew his plan worked since Asuma was looking down and Kurenai's eye were overshadowed by her bangs. But to his shock, which Siko kept in check, they were chuckling. The chuckling grew louder and more forceful until it turned into full-blown laughter. Haha yeah. You may be right about that, maybe she is playing for the other team or both. I guess she has a certain taste in men or women. Thanks for setting me straight. Asuma exclaimed with a cheery expression. Well you are correct. I do have certain tastes in men, I'm not a lesbian, though I did have that one-time thing right Anko-chan. She said making everyone, minus Naruto, gawk at her as she freely admitted that she and Anko had sex with each other. The latter couldn't believe she would admit it. Naruto cursed yet again at whoever was fucking with him along with Kami. Why this was happening to him he didn't know. He looked at Guy. Maybe if he insulted his clothing, his friends may take it as an offense and tell him to leave. Guy-san why do you wear such a horrendous looking, bright green spandex? I understand that it makes for good exercise, but in the battlefield it makes you into a moving target. It also would give your position away along with your teammates if you were on a stealth mission and it is simply an eyesore. It sucks. Naruto said bluntly saying the last part with a lot more conviction. Now he knew they were going to ask him to leave since they stopped laughing and he saw a lone tear on Guy. He must have really loved the clothing he was wearing. You're correct. I should not wear this often on mission maybe on training, but not on missions as it could my fellow youthful teammates in danger, along with my youthful students. Thank you for setting me straight my youthful friend I'll change clothes after today and if I fail to remember I will do 1000 push-ups on my thumbs. Yosh. He said as tears streaked down his face. The others looking at him like he was a god king. Damn, you've done something that no one else had ever done. Hana said in disbelief. You convinced him to get rid of those hideous spandex. Anko where the hell did you find him? Yugao asked. I just saw him walking around and decided to drag him with me. You know. Get drunk, then drunk in one night sex, that kind of thing. But now I think I'll keep you with me. Anko said, much to his ire. Now Anko, you need to learn how to share such a man with great wisdom such as him. Kurenai said, making Naruto inwardly groan even more as he knew he might have just dug his grave. Naruto cursed whatever entity that was fucking with him for the 9th time. He could only hope that it wouldn't get worse. Unfortunately, Murphy had one last card to play, solidifying the intro as his bane of existence next to the sun. Hey everyone. Looks like all of you are having fun, and who's this? A new friend of yours, Tebane. Kushina walked towards them with a toothy grin on her face. I've never seen him before, but looks like you know him. Mind explaining? He knew who those two voices belonged to, and he refused to look back. Hi sensei, Kushina-sama. What are you and the twins doing here? Kakashi asked while Naruto was having a hard time trying to calm himself, even with Siko's help. Well, we are actually looking for Naruto since I need to talk to him about a marriage alliance contract I received earlier from Iwa, Kumo and Nadeshiko. Minato said. Kushina shook her head a bit. Honestly, we have spoiled him too much since we haven't seen him at home, so we figured that he might be around the village since today is the celebration. Honestly, where did we go wrong with him, she said, making Naruto near boiling point. Yeah, Ani-chan is always not around, or when he was too busy. Narumi said. Naruto could tell just from the sound of her voice she was embarrassed of him. How dare that slut. She doesn't know anything. It was like he was pushing us away. What's wrong with him? Naruko said, a little mad with her brother, who was fuming at that. Yes, it seems that we may have turned him into a spoiled brat, but anyways we have to find him and tell him about the marriage alliance. Since this would benefit both the village and him of becoming humble and learn responsibility and stop think only about him. Minato couldn't finish that last part as he was sucker punched by Naruto, making all around him eyes widen. How fucking dare you presume that I am selfish? How dare you presume that I am spoiled? Not once have I ever felt your parental love. Naruto roared. His rage consuming him, the hinge on his body began to drop. Midnight black hair returned to its original sun-kissed appearance, and the whisker marks on his cheeks due to the Jubi's presence reappeared on his face. Naruto apologized to your father this instant, and I don't know what you're talking about. I've shown each of my children equal love. That goes for Minato-kun, as everyone's eyes widened even further as Kushina was denied the ability to finish her sentence. The resounding slap from the younger blonde echoed through the small dango shop. Shut up, you slut. Not once did either of you show me love. Only the twins. Tell me, you fucking fangirl slut, can you tell me what you know about me? Naruto shouted, his Dojutsu coming to life. The air was now thick with his killing intent. Kushina along with Minato thought for a few moments, and to their shock they couldn't find anything. They looked harder through their minds, searching for something, anything that would defend them, Kushina doing more than Minato, as she kept denying that she didn't show love to all three of her children. However, to their despair, they couldn't find a single memory. They don't know what were his likes or his dislikes, or any event where they were together as a whole. Naruto saw this and scowled. See? Both of you know nothing about me. Hell, you didn't even know that I stopped staying at the compound for 6 years and that I was only sending cage buncheons to get what I need. Naruto said, making their eyes widen, tears forming from their eyes. Naruto started to laugh darkly. And did you know that I was beaten up by your villagers too, San? What? Yeah, apparently they thought I was the Kyuubi incarnate whose power was trapped with my two sisters. But here, let me show you. He pressed his fingers harshly against his parents' temples, and suddenly a flood of images entered their minds. Naruto showed the two all the times he was abused. All the cuts, stabs, burns, all the times he observed them being the happy family while he suffered, all the times he cried himself to sleep, wondering why they didn't love him. Kushina felt despair and anguish at what she saw her son had suffered multiple times, and it was because of her and her husband. She could feel her heart shatter and her mind almost broke. She was in Uzumaki and they were known to love their family above all else, but after what she saw, she felt ashamed and disgusted with herself. She recalled what she said earlier, and it just made her feel very much not like a mother. Minato felt the same. He couldn't believe at what his own village did to his son, and he was also pissed with himself for ignoring his son like that. Please, Naruto, we're sorry for ignoring you, but we had to train the twins. It was for the good of the village and for their safety. Minato tried to reason but to no avail as he just saw ungodly rage in his son's eyes. Please, Sachi-kun, please give us another chance. Kushina pleaded. I already gave up on both of you along with your family here. Let me show you something. Naruto tossed both of them a scroll. After reading it, Kushina started to sob uncontrollably and Minato's hands shook. I'm not a part of the Uzumaki and Namikaze. I am just Naruto. Now if you will excuse me, I'll take my leave. Naruto said. However, he was stopped when golden chains wrapped themselves around him. No. I will not let you. I refuse to let you go. Kushina cried hysterically. Another set of chains wrapped around him courtesy of his twin sisters. "We won't allow you to go on, E-chan. We are not going to lose our brother," they said in unison. Naruto struggled to get free and he saw the people who he was forcefully seated with stand up to restrain him, his father reaching into his weapons pouch and retrieved a pair of seal tags. One being a restraining one and the other, Naruto could only assume what the second did as the kanji for memory was drawn on its surface. "No. I won't let them. I will be free," he thought as he started to flare his chakra in an effort to break the chains around him, but failed to do so. He continued to flare more of his chakra, determined to not to be bound by them, determined to not let his one chance at freedom flee from his grasp. He saw them get closer to him. He could feel fear that his one chance of happiness away from this hell would slip from his grasp. "We want the power to leave this place." An unknown feminine voice made itself known. Time appeared to have stopped as a shadowy figure revealed itself to Naruto, which was shown to be a woman with long, raven black hair with brown streaks, a perfect hourglass figure, slightly pale skin and DT-size bust. She wore a tattered-looking, black cloak that fluttered in the non-existent wind and a pair of black shoes. She adjusted the glasses on her face, the light of the surrounding area reflecting off of the orange-tinted lenses for a moment. "Tell me, do you want power to be free from your binds and to get away from this place? And if so, what will you do if I do give you such power after escaping?" she asked. Naruto thought of it for a moment. What would he do if he did gain power? What would he do with it? Why did he want to have power in the first place? "Yes, I want power to be free of this place. I want power, not to show them that I did not need them, I wanted power to protect Siko-chan and anyone who I might find precious to me, so please lend me strength whoever you are," Naruto begged. The dual hair-colored beauty glanced at him before nodding. "Very well. I will lend you my strength, but remember this, abandon your fears and look forward. Look forward and never stop. If you pull back, if you hesitate you die." Time began to flow once more. Naruto blinked in surprise as he felt a sudden surge of power coursing through his veins. Then the voice of the unknown woman came to the forefront of his mind. "Invoke my name and the power shall be yours. My name is Tensa Zangetsu." Naruto shouted and instantly reddish-black energy exploded upward, destroying the chains that bound him. Everyone was thrown backwards by the power Naruto unleashed. They saw him holding a long black blade that held a smooth curve along its length with 3 protrusions along the blunt side. The weapon had a manji-like guard and a long chain that grasped his right arm. "You dare try to restrain me? You dare try to rewrite my memory and act like this never happened? I'll show all of you my pain." Naruto then shot into the skies above Konoha with his back facing the full moon. Naruto dropped all his restrictions and everyone felt his power, which surpassed anything they felt. It was like the Kyuubi made its second appearance. "Shinra Tensei!" Naruto shouted. In an instant everything around Konoha was blown away by an invisible force. But Naruto wasn't done. Naruto held his new sword with both hands concentrated on using its power. Reddish-black energy bled forth from the blade and Naruto raised it high above his head. Itsuga Tensho. The reddish-black wave of energy clashed against the Hokage monument where his former father's face was, completely destroying it. Satisfied, he left via Shunpo, leaving Konoha in ruins. Though some survived, they were shell-shocked at the sheer of power the jutsu that Naruto used. They knew, since everyone in Konoha, even those who were not part of Konoha, saw his memory and knew why he did it. But what they didn't see was a black and white plant-like person was watching everything. It then vanished beneath the earth as if it were never there. And his breathing was labored as he began to experience the feeling fatigue after using such a powerful jutsu on that large of a scale. Slowly, he was able to calm himself down and tried to recall what happened. He remembered awakening to a new power, then he remembered using said power to destroy and escape his former mother's and sister's chakra chains. Seeing as there was no one around, Naruto sat in a meditating position and went in his mindscape. Arriving in his mindscape, he saw Siko, Senbonzakura and another woman who he assumed was Tensa Zangetsu. "I believe introductions are to made. My name is Tensa Zangetsu, Ascension Sword Spirit," she said in a calm voice while adjusting her glasses. "Interesting, Ascension Spirit awakened from the depths of your soul, Naruto," Siko said, much to the confusion of Naruto. Seeing his confusion, Senbonzakura decided to enlighten him. "Naruto, sentient swords are either made or born. Take the sword of Kurigakure, Samehada, for instance. Like the two of us, it is also a sentient sword that was made by a blacksmith from Kiri. Making such weapons is unknown since each are made differently. Now sentient swords that are born are considered special since they represent a part of you. I myself was born the same from my original master before he died," she explained. Naruto nodded, somehow managing to understand. "If it's true, then what part of me were you born from? Along with your name?" Naruto asked his new partner. "I was born from your determination and undying will." As for my name, it represents your infatuation with the moon. Naruto was surprised that this woman was the manifestation of both his will and determination. And her name was from how much he loved staring at the moon. To him, the moon was the single light in the darkness during the night. It was always a constant presence, even when he had Siko. The moon, back then, was a comforting sight to him. He didn't know why, but he never once questioned it. He just basked in its glow. Even now when he had Siko, he would always find time to stare at the moon and marvel at its beauty. I see. Well, how about I give you an actual name then? How's Yuzuki sound to you? It means gentle moon, Naruto said, fully accepting and recognizing her as his partner. A small smile crept onto Tensa's Zangetsu's beautiful face. Yes, that's a fine name. Thank you, Naruto. She said with a nod of approval. Siko smiled as she felt Naruto's emotion of happiness. She didn't mind sharing if they decided to pursue a romantic relationship with him. So long as they didn't hurt him, then it was fine with her. But now they needed to address the predicament they were in now. She knew Naruto's action would spread across the entire elemental nations. She knew people would want him at their side for his power or to eliminate him so he wouldn't fall to their enemies' hands. She knew that the road ahead of them would be difficult, but a road that they must walk. It was the price for freedom, something they both didn't regret. Naruto-kun, I suggest we continue your training. She said, bringing their attention to her. You're correct, Siko-chan. I will need to master both your powers, and I also need to master Overture. He gestured to Tensa's Zangetsu, Senbonsakura and his gun blade. Naruto already had a name in mind. It was from one of the books he loved to read about a traveling swordsman who went on adventure on faraway lands called Is. My name will be Adol Kristen. Naruto said, much to the amusement of women. Okay, now that that's settled, we'll be heading to Nami no Kuni for transportation to Uzushio. Were Naruto's last words before leaving his mindscape. Naruto dropped his second layer henge. He now stood at a height of 5 feet and 6 inches, his hair reached his shoulders, and his appearance became more toned and refined. So you decided to drop the final henge, eh, Naru-kun? Good. I always did prefer you like this. Siko purred seductively. Naruto chuckled. Without his henge he looked around 16, but his mentality was already similar to an adult's. You would, since you changed my body to handle your yokai and to make my own yokai after you fused a part of yours with my chakra. Naruto thought to his silver-haired lover with a wince. It was one of the most painful experiences of his life. He didn't even need to see it as he could tell Siko's smug look was present on her face. Well, I like what I did, especially around you, package. She said in a husky tone, making Naruto blush at what she was indicating. The other two women weren't faring any better since Siko decided to show the two of them their session with excruciating details, making both women go crimson. It's safe to say that both Claire-chan and Yuzuki-chan agree with me. She said, making Naruto shake his head in amusement. Naruto arrived at a small town and decided to take in the sights for a while before turning in for the night. A particular shop caught his interest. It was an origami shop. To the naked eye it would seem like a normal everyday origami shop, but for Naruto, he could sense chakra coming from each of the origami creations, including a very well-suppressed chakra signature. Naruto went in the small origami shop and was quickly impressed by each one. There were many varieties of origami creations ranging from flower designs to animals, humans, odd three-dimensional shapes and even ninja tools. Just by looking, he could tell whoever made them was a master or mistress. His thoughts were cut off by an angelic voice. Hello there and welcome to my origami shop. Is there any you like? Naruto turned around to see a beautiful woman with blue hair, amber eyes with lavender eyeshadow and a DD-sized bust. Her complexion was a bit pale, but she made it work. The woman was wearing a beautiful blue kimono that had a white flower decoration and a light blue origami flower attached to her hair. Naruto could only stare at her beauty, and that was saying something considering he had 3 beautiful women who live inside of him. I was just admiring these pieces of art. Each of them is well made and beautiful. I assume you are the one that made them. I'm Naruto, by the way. He said, a little embarrassed that he stuttered and not noticing he just told her his real name. The brunette giggled, causing Naruto to be further embarrassed since he made himself into a slight fool. I'm Conan and thank you for the compliment, Naruto-san. It's not every day I get complimented from my works. Conan said. I'm surprised they wouldn't compliment your work, Conan-san. I mean, each one of them looks like a fine piece of work. Why wouldn't they? Naruto asked in honest surprise. A small smile crept its way to Conan's beautiful face. Well, the men here would always look at my body and the women here would always glare at me for taking away their boyfriend's or husband's attention. It is rare that I would get a compliment for my works. Well, I mean, I would get compliments for my works, but it is usually an excuse to ask me out or try to get into my pants. She said. From her tone alone, Naruto could tell she was irritated. Well, I will admit, Conan-san, that you are indeed beautiful. Just from your amber eyes to your exotic blue hair and your well-maintained figure, even though you have retired from a kunoichi lifestyle," Naruto said in a very sincere tone and admiration. Konan blushed heavily since this was the first time she was ever complimented the way Naruto did to her. Sure, she had her old friends, but they didn't go beyond any romantic ties. She looked at Naruto's eye and they didn't hold any perverted stare, no, it was more like he was admiring her. It was like he had seen beauty before and could compare it, given that she doesn't know about the 3 women who were living in his mindscape. She got her blush down and then smiled at the blonde. "Thank you, Naruto-san. You're the first sincere person to have complimented me without having any sort of ulterior motive, but I must ask, how did you know I was a retired kunoichi? I could sense how well you keep your chakra suppressed to a point that you would seem like a normal civilian. That takes years of mastery, Konan-san. That and you just confirmed it yourself," Naruto simply said. And yet again she was caught surprised by the red and blonde-haired man in front of her. "Don't worry, I won't tell anyone. You can trust me since I can tell you no longer wish to be part of the ninja life. But if I may ask, what is the reason?" Naruto saw a flash of pain in her eyes before it quickly went away. "It's a long story, Naruto-san, but the short version is I lost 2 people whom I saw as my brothers, the latter going insane," she said in a sad tone that made Naruto kick himself. "I'm so sorry, Konan-san, letting you relive those memories," he said in an apologetic tone. "No, don't worry. It's fine, Naruto-san. I do feel somewhat relieved that I was able to tell someone," Konan said, making Naruto smile a little. "Well, I'm honored you told me, but it's only fair I tell you something about myself. You see, Konan-san, I actually left my village since both the villagers didn't want me and my former family basically didn't know a single thing about me, only concentrated with my 2 twin sisters," Naruto said in painful and sad tone. Konan was surprised by his emotional change. Sadness, anger, pain and loneliness. She could tell he had suffered a lot to have such emotion in his eyes, yet she could still see kindness, joy and love in them. Something she hadn't seen in a while, given the people she worked with and the person who she stood by with was nothing more than a hollow shell of his former self. "I see. Thank you for telling me, Naruto-san. I could tell it's a sore subject, but let's do away with that now. How about I show you some of my other makings?" Konan suggested with a small smile. Naruto nodded, feeling his mood lighten already. "Alright, well, lead the way, Konan-san," Naruto said with a soft smile. Konan gave Naruto a tour of her shop, showing him every origami design she made. She even taught him how to make origami, which he'll admit was not easy. But after a few tries, along with some minor paper cut which he'll never know how he got, he was able to make a small origami flower. "As much fun as it is, Konan-san, it is getting rather late. Not that I don't want to stay with you since I find your presence relaxing, but we all need our rest. I could come back tomorrow if you would like," Naruto said. Honestly, this was the first time he had this much fun with someone since he never had much interaction with anyone in a long time. It was refreshing and it felt good to be able to have some normalcy. Konan saw the time and indeed it was getting late. She couldn't help but admit that she too also had fun with him even in a short time. It felt good to her. "You're right, Naruto-san. It is getting late and I too find your presence relaxing. So I'll see you tomorrow then." Naruto smiled a bit and nodded. "Sure, I'll see you tomorrow, Konan-san. Well, good night, Konan-san," he said before leaving. "Good night, Naruto-kun." Konan surprised herself when she added the kun suffix and gained a little blush from it. She didn't know why she did, but honestly she didn't find it strange. She wouldn't admit it out loud, but she did find him rather handsome and attractive, along with his positive attitude. She chuckled to herself before heading to bed. Naruto was able to hear the kun suffix and this made him blush, his cheeks dyed a small tint of red. "How cute. My little Naruto-kun is thinking about the pretty blue head. They grow up so fast," Siko said in a teasing manner. If could see her now, he could see her fake tears. "I don't have a crush on her," Naruto exclaimed defensively. Siko giggled at his defensiveness. It proved that he does indeed have a crush on Konan. "Naruto-kun, I never said anything about a crush, did I?" she said with a smirk on her face at seeing Naruto's redness, having been caught or tricked into admitting it. "Damn it, so what if I do? I do find her attractive next to you 3. She's nice, she has a great sense of humor, and she has talent," Naruto said with an admiring tone. Inside his mindscape, Siko laughed at her other 2 companions' crimson blushes. Naruto basically said he likes them. She didn't mind at all, the idea of sharing it made things more interesting in her opinion, and she knew for a fact that he could easily love each one of them equally and passionately. After all, she knew him better than anyone else. The next day Naruto was making his way towards Konan's shop when he heard a sort of disturbance. For the last time, no means no. "Now can you leave?" Konan said in an irritated voice. "Oh come on. What's wrong with one date? It's not like you're seeing someone," the guy said. He was about to reach for her hand until Naruto grabbed it and gave it a sharp twist. "Hey honey, sorry I'm late," Naruto said, giving her a go along with it look that she quickly recognized. "Aw, no need darling. So how was your trip?" she asked while ignoring the wailing of the guy whose arm was being twisted by Naruto. "Well, it was rather boring and uneventful, but most of all I do miss my fiancé," Naruto said, shocking the people around. "Wait, got your Hirai-Tai fiancé?" the guy asked. Naruto looked at the man and gave him a dark grin. "Why yes I am. Now this is what you and every other guy will do." Naruto stopped and gave another sharp twist, almost making him yell out in pain. "You are not going to bother her again, and if I even see you or any of you looking at her like a piece of meat, I'll do more than just twist an arm," he said before letting the guy go. "You okay?" Naruto asked the blue-haired beauty. Conan nodded with a sigh of relief. "Thank you, Naruto, but you do know I could have handled that easily," she said with a mock glare. Naruto grinned slightly. "I know you could have, but I wanted to help out. So how about a little breakfast? My treat, I mean, if you would like to go," Naruto said with a little nervousness in his tone. Conan thought of it for a moment. She could tell he was nervous in asking her, judging from his tone of voice he was. It could have been from their talk last night that he might be thinking that she would think that he was just acting nice so as to get in her pants. But she knew he wasn't like that, and besides it could be fun. "Alright Naruto. I would like to come with you," she said. She saw him smile like he just won the lottery. "Great, let's go then," he shouted. In a short time both sat down in a local cafe. After ordering their individual meals and drink, Naruto decided for some small talk. "So tell me a little more about yourself, Conan. You know. Likes, dislikes, dreams for the future, that kind of stuff," Naruto said since he wanted to learn more about this woman. Conan nodded and proceeded to reply. "Well, my likes are origami, making origami and sweets. My dislikes are perverts and arrogant people. My dreams, well, for my dreams I haven't yet thought of it really. Now your turn." She gestured to him. "Well, my likes are training, my swords and making new jutsu. My dislikes are perverts, arrogant people, people who ignore or neglect someone for reasons that are stupid, and people who don't know the difference between a weapon scroll and an empty scroll, and as for my dream, well, I haven't yet thought of it as well," Naruto said. Conan raised a single eyebrow at his dislikes as it hinted to her of what happened to him at his old village. "So tell me Naruto, what are your plans?" she asked as their food arrived. "Well, I plan to master my 3 swords and see the world. How about you?" Naruto asked. Conan took a sip of her hot tea before answering. "Well, I used to, along with my friends I told you about before. It was actually a dream of one of my friends, but I'm sure you wouldn't be interested in it," she said, making Naruto shake his head. "No, I'm interested, Conan." "Okay, well, I used to be a part of a group that my friend founded. Its goal was peace, but after he died that goal slowly faded away with my second friend. Seeing there was nothing left for me, I left and set up shop here," she said. Naruto could detect the sadness in her voice. Those two must have meant the world to her. "I see. Well, I admire your friends wanting to find peace in our world," Naruto said. "Tell me this, Naruto, what your view of peace?" Conan asked, curious on his own view on the subject. "Well, for me, peace is where your heart feels more at ease. It could be with someone or someplace, it doesn't matter as long as your heart feels at peace," Naruto said. Conan smiled at his answer at his view of peace. "But tell me this. Is it possible for peace in our world?" she asked. "Well, I don't really know how to answer that question, Conan, since I really don't know if it's possible to obtain peace in our world. But then again, if there is such a thing as peace, then I will hold on to it and never let it go. I will fight to make sure that peace lasts as long as it can, and if this world can't find peace, then I'll make my own. I will make a place where people can live in peace without the fear of discrimination of who they are," Naruto said in a very serious tone. Conan's eye widened at his words. Those words were the exact same words that her 2 friends said, and for a split second she could have sworn she saw her 2 friends' images beside Naruto. "I've only knew you for a day, Naruto, but already you have interested me greatly. Perhaps you're the one that would finally find peace in this world," she thought to herself. "An excellent answer, Naruto, and who knows, maybe you might just make such a place," Conan said, making Naruto smile a bit. "Yeah," was all Naruto said. Time skipped 2 weeks. It had been 2 weeks since Naruto arrived at the small town, and Conan couldn't help but smile. She enjoyed being around Naruto, finding his presence to be a great comfort. He would help in her shop or when dealing with people. Sure, she could handle it, but it felt good to be protected now and then. She found that she was slowly liking Naruto more than just a friend, and she suspected that he too liked her, but was too shy to admit it. She would sometimes tease him, which was a first for her, and she would admit she found it fun getting him to blush. It made him cute. It was a long time since she ever had fun and be normal, the last being when she was trained by her sensei. Conan was currently making her way towards his training spot along with a small basket of sandwiches she made. She blushed a bit since this was the first time she ever made food for someone and she hoped he would like it. She herself didn't know how or when she started to like Naruto. It could have been his positive attitude, his humor, which she always found entertaining, the fact he was a great person to be with, or how he easily grew on you. Honestly, she couldn't understand why his old village treated him negatively. Oh well, their loss. Her thoughts were suddenly interrupted by large explosions and several chakra signatures that weren't Naruto's own chakra. That's coming from Naruto's location. Several chakra signature around Lo Jonin. She thought as she quickly made her way towards Naruto's location. Please be okay, Naruto-kun, she said to herself. Naruto ripped away the torn remains of his shirt as he stood, surrounded by 8 Konoha Jonin. Naruto held out Overture with Zangetsu and Senbonzakura by his sides. I half expected them to send someone after me, but Lo Jonin. I must have done more damage than I thought. Naruto said in a monotone voice. Naruto started stretching, twirling Overture in his hands. I do wonder, did my old man survive along with my mother and my sisters after I used that jutsu to level the whole of Konoha? He asked nonchalantly. Naruto smirked as he saw one of them charge at him with blind rage. But before Naruto could strike, the Konoha shinobi was forced to dodge a barrage of paper shuriken. Conan appeared behind Naruto, standing back to back with him. I'll let you explain later, Naruto-kun. For now, let's take care of them. She said in a serious tone that left no room for argument. Naruto nodded behind her. Agreed. Let's take them down quickly and then I promise I will tell you, Conan, Naruto said. Conan nodded before engaging Shikigami no Mai, the dance of the Shikigami. Conan's body split into thousands of pieces of paper, engulfing the surrounding area. Seeing this, the enemy shinobi jumped out of the way to avoid whatever attack she might do. Naruto flashed through hand seals before clapping his hands together. Raiden. Hachi Kaminari no Bakemono lightning release. 8 lightning beasts. Naruto manipulated his lightning element into his hands to control 8 wolf-like lightning beasts to charge at the 8 shinobi. Naruto's jutsu quickly caught 4 of them, electrocuting them and leaving them smoking on the ground. As for the other 4, they quickly did their own ninjutsu to counter the blondes. 2 of them formed the snake seal, while the other 2 performed the tiger seal. Oten. Doryuiden no Jutsu Earth Release. Earth Dragon Bullet Technique. Heian. Kuryuenden no Jutsu Fire Release. Fire Dragon Blast Technique. Slamming their hands on the ground, the 2 earth dragons roared as they burst out of the earth. The other 2 Konoha shinobi then exhaled and sent forth a pair of fire dragons that engulfed the earth dragons. The blazing earthen reptiles then charged towards Naruto and Conan. Conan manipulated her paper to form a shield in front of the dragons, but the fire surrounding them burned through it. A massive explosion occurred as the 2 leaped out of the way when the 2 burning earth beasts slammed into the ground. The blast wave from the attack knocked them back through the air, but they managed to right themselves and land on their feet. Naruto then used the Byakugan-based aspects of his Shin no Mei to see through the large smokescreen that had formed from the explosion. Once he got a hold of their locations, he looked to Conan, who was already preparing her chakra for another attack. 2 of them are straight in front of you, the third is 20 degrees to the right and the fourth is 40 degrees to the left. Naruto informed her. Conan nodded and with a wave of her hands, spears made entirely out of paper materialized before her. With a flick of her wrist, she sent the spears at her opponents, piercing through the smoke. The Konoha shinobi saw the attack coming, but just as they were about to move, they found they couldn't as they suddenly felt their legs being held down and there was a literal sinking feeling affecting them. What the? Oten. Yomi Numa Earth Release. Swamp of the Underworld. With Naruto's jutsu holding them down, they were quickly impaled by the paper spears. It was instantaneous as they were speared through their chests and heads. Blood splattered everywhere, but immediately mixed with the dark muck that made the earth jutsu that trapped them. Well, that easy. Naruto commented. I'll dispose of the bodies, Conan. Wait for me at my camp that I set up. Naruto said. Conan didn't say anything as she only nodded. Naruto sighed as he made a hand seal and his Yomi Numa expanded outwards to completely engulf the other 4 shinobi he had electrocuted earlier. The bodies of the 8 attackers quickly sank beneath the earth, making them fertilizer for the plants to use. I can only hope she doesn't hate me after this. Naruto thought to himself as he sighed heavily. Once Naruto arrived at the camp he set up, he saw Conan sitting on a wood stump while keeping a calm face. Naruto sighed as he stood in front of Conan. Alright, what do you want to know? Naruto asked. Everything. Naruto then placed his right hand on Conan's forehead, then made a hand seal. Ninpu. Memori Kanrin no Jutsu Ninja Art. Memory Viewing Technique. Conan's amber eyes widened and her pupils dilated as a rapid influx of information entered her mind. It wasn't exactly everything, but Naruto fed her enough images for her to get the gist of what he experienced, from his being ignored to his leaving Konoha. When it was over, Conan blinked rapidly to steady the nausea she felt. She then looked at Naruto with disbelief. How you and the how are you still wow. She couldn't even get a complete grasp of her own use of language as she was still trying to wrap her around the kind of life the blonde had lived. By Kami-sama, I didn't know you had lived such a life and still managed to remain sane. She said in both awe and sadness. Awe that he was able to push through what happened to him and sad that he had lost his childhood and wasn't able to experience parental love. So what are you going to do now, Naruto-kun? She asked. Well, I'll be leaving for Nami since I need to catch a ride to Uzashigakure to master my 3 swords. Naruto said as he already started packing, sealing everything into a storage scroll. I see. Conan muttered. Her amber eyes blazed with determination as she hopped off her tree stump and stood directly in front of Naruto. Then I'm coming along. She said, getting a shock put of him. Naruto sighed. Conan, I like you. Hell, give it time and I will eventually come to love you, but that's why I can't let you. Naruto wasn't able to finish since he was interrupted by a barrage of sharp paper shuriken lace with explosive tags. Landing on a tree nearby, he was about to tell her to stop when the tree suddenly turned to paper, forcing him to jump away as they turned into sharp spikes. Naruto-kun, I can handle myself just fine. Besides, you haven't seen what I can do, and I too came to like you as well. I understand the danger of coming along with you, and I'm telling you that I'm not afraid to go with you. She said sternly before forming a large paper dragon which was laced with explosive tags. Naruto stretched out his hand to counter with Shinra Tensei, pushing back the paper dragon just as it exploded, covering the whole area in black smoke. Naruto then felt a sharp object near his neck. And I know how the Rinnegan works, Naruto-kun, since my former friend, Nagato, also has it. Conan's voice spoke from behind. Fine. I can see you can handle yourself just great and I'm sorry for thinking that you couldn't. Also, how do you feel about sharing? Naruto asked. Apology accepted, and I don't mind sharing so long as you promise to love us equally. Conan said before removing the paper sword from his neck. She then undid her technique. Naruto gawked as paper started to peel off what he thought was his campsite, but apparently while he was busy burying the corpses, Conan changed the whole landscape. It like she anticipated what he was going to say. How, he'll never know since he made sure to show her the events leading up to him arriving at the small town. Okay, I am impressed, Conan-chan. Naruto said. If he turned around, he would have seen a rare smirk come across Conan's face. I'll meet you at the village exit, Naruto-kun. Wait for me, okay? She said before vanishing in a swirl of paper. A minute later, Naruto was standing at the town's exit waiting for Conan. He didn't have to wait long. He saw Conan, who was wearing a black cloak, a revealing navy blue robe with a large hemline on the front and exposed her arms, her back, the lateral part of her breasts, and her belly. She wore a pair of blue pants with white high heels. Shall we go then, Naruto-kun? She asked, smirking inside as she saw Naruto's blushing face. I'm sure. Let's go, Conan-chan. He said, a bit embarrassed that she caught him staring. And? Both Naruto and Conan were wearing black cloaks with straw hats. Arriving at Nami no Kuni, they took in the sights of the small country and were very displeased, finding it very depressing. Children on the streets, homeless, looking very famished, judging how emaciated they looked. Bodies in the alleyway, dead and mutilated or badly beaten. If the number of bruises wasn't any indication, then the number of stab wounds would. Women wearing tattered clothes leaking out bodily fluid that were and weren't their own, such as semen and urine. They already knew they were raped to the extent that they were broken. Kami, what happened here? Conan whispered that only Naruto could hear. I don't know, but it's best we find out so we can at least help these people. Naruto said, getting a nod of agreement from the brunette. They sat down in a local bar. Conan, hide your appearance with a henge. From what we saw, they don't treat women here with kindness. Naruto quickly said. Conan didn't say anything, but just made a discreet henge that changed her gender. What will you be having? The bartender asked. Naruto looked around before lightly opening his cloak to reveal the inner chest pocket and revealed a small wad of cash. Some information if you have any. Naruto said. The bartender quickly reached out his hand as Naruto handed him the money. Hiding it under the counter, he quickly browsed through the bills to count its amount before nodding in satisfaction. He quickly stuffed the money into his pants pocket. Ask away, stranger. He said. What happened here that this place looks like how it does now? Naruto asked quietly. The bartender quickly glanced around as if making sure someone wouldn't hear what he was about to say. Well, a guy named Gato took over this town using hired mercenaries. He hired them using the large amounts of money he has. The Gato company that he owns is said to be worth millions. He said. Conan raised an eyebrow at this. Why hasn't the daimyo done anything, and why haven't the people done anything? She asked. The bartender made a gesture for additional compensation which Naruto gave. Well, Gato is actually the daimyo since he bought the land when he took it over, and as for the people standing up to him, it's the carpenter and local portman family, a guy named Kaiza. But sadly he's scheduled to be executed later today. I suppose Gato will be making an example out of him. Naruto and Conan gave each other a knowing look. Naruto quickly thanked the bartender before leaving to save this Kaiza person and kill Gato. Both saw a large crowd gathered at the center of the town, and from the amount of negative emotion, it was safe to say that the execution was going to happen there. Making their way through the crowd, they saw a man who was heading up to a pedestal who they assumed as Kaiza. And a black hair woman was crying out his name along with a small kid and a bearded old man. Naruto saw the executioner, instantly recognizing him from the bingo book as the demon of the hidden mist and one of the seven swordsmen, Zabuza Mamachi. In his hand he held the Kubikirabacho, a massive slab of steel that could cut through flesh and bone like it was paper. In front of the pedestal was a diminutive, sunglasses-wearing man. He wore an expensive-looking business suit and gripped a cane which had a silver ornament atop it. From this, both Naruto and Conan assumed that the man was Gato. Standing beside Gato were hundreds of mercs who acted as his bodyguards. "Conan, take the family to safety. I'll handle Zabuza along with his hidden lackey," Naruto said in a commanding tone. Conan nodded and then made her way towards Kaiza's family. Quickly taking 2 guards and substituting them with her paper clones, she quickly told them to stay quiet as she and Naruto were going to help them. "So any last words, trash, before you die?" Gato asked with an arrogant smirk on his face. Kaiza met his eyes and stared at him. If looks could kill then Gato would have been dead. "Yeah. I'll you this, Gato. Someday someone is going to take a stand. Someday, someone is going to say enough. And when that day comes you will be begging on your knees pleading for that somebody to spare you," Kaiza said. Then in one last act of defiance, he spat in his face. Gato sneered angrily as he wiped the spit off of his face. "Kill him." He roared in anger and Zabuza moved to carry out the task, bringing down his massive blade to behead him. Time seemed to slow down as the massive meat cleaver descended down on him. Kaiza closed his eyes accepting his fate with hope that someone will one day free his country and kill Gato. However, the death of the young man came to an abrupt halt as a loud clang sound was heard causing Kaiza to open his eyes. Turning to the side, he saw a shocked Gato. "Excuse me, but are you Kaiza the local carpenter and boatman?" A man holding a black sword in his right hand held the massive sword just inches away from his neck. Kaiza could only nod in confirmation. "Oh, that's good, since I, along with my companion, are in need of a boat. But where are my manners? My name is Adol Kristen and I'm here to help you out of this jam and then employ your services," Naruto said, introducing himself using his alias before pushing back Zabuza's sword, then quickly kicking him in the side, sending him crashing into a small building, making a decent-size hole in the wall. The people quickly got out of the way as Gato ordered his men to kill him while he made his way back to the safety of his mansion. Naruto simply shook his head before unsheathing Senbonsakura and muttering scatter. Instantly, the thousands of cherry blossom petals made small work of the hundreds of mercs, giving them no chance of escaping. Naruto left one alive since he only needed one for this. "Now, I'll let you pass on if you answer me this. Where is Gato's place?" he asked in a sickeningly sweet voice that held the promise of immense pain. He's heading to his mansion just up that direction. The subordinate pointed east. "Today the people will remember this day as the Sakura no Hanabira Jyakusatsu, the Cherry Petal Massacre, and the day they were going to be free from Gato." Naruto smiled, then sheathed both swords before unsheathing Overture. Wait, I thought you were going to let me go," the young lackey said fearfully as Overture changed to its gun mode. "Oh? I said I was going to let you pass on meaning to next life. So rest in peace," Naruto said before shooting him square in the head. Conan walked up towards him, but before she could say anything he cut her off. "I'll be heading towards the mansion, Conan-chan. Sorry for asking this, but I need you to make sure none of Gato's men make it out of here alive," Naruto said, barely containing the rage in his voice. "Very well. Just make it quick and leave some of your clones to assist me." Naruto nodded and made 4 clones before shunpoing towards Gato's place. "So this is Gato's place. Big door." Naruto's observation of Gato's mansion and the large door that was blocking him. "Well, can't have this thing blocking my way," Naruto said before concentrating his Yakuo into his fingertips. "Zero." Naruto fired a dark red concentrated blast of Yakuo, destroying the large door and killing anyone standing behind it. Once the smoke and debris cleared, Naruto saw several hundred men standing in his way and about 50 bodies that were dead due to his technique. The Zero was successful, Naruto-kun. Though you still need to work on its power, it still was a good trial run. Now give us a show." Siko praised her lover, a fanged grin decorating her face in anticipation in the upcoming bloodbath. Naruto smirked darkly as he took out Overture before kneeling, placing his hands on the floor. Naruto sensed there were people beneath, probably kept as prisoners. This will be over soon and I might as well free the people that bastard kept imprisoned. Naruto glanced at the merc standing in his way before rising to his full height and made a come at me gesture. Several men did so and charged at him with the intent of killing him and avenging their fallen companions. Changing Overture into gun mode, Naruto jumped right above them, then, just before landing, he made an aerial spin creating orbs of energy that encircled him. The spheroids of chakra launched themselves at the enemies, retaining their circular formation as they did so. Faded circle. Naruto detonated them creating a large explosion, killing them a small portion of the mercenary army. Naruto then charged at them with his blade drawn back. Double blitz. Naruto seemed to vanish from view before two trails of color marked his rapid movement. The mercenaries who were struck could only blink in surprise before they fell apart, vertically bifurcated by the swift pair of attacks. Well, 100 of more of you to go. Naruto said smiling darkly. Inside his mindscape, Siko was getting turned on, her face both spoke of bloodlust and sexual lust. After this, Naruto-kun, I am going to ride you till I can't feel my hips. She said in pure animistic lust. Her roommates could only shake their heads at the demoness, though the thought of riding Naruto got them to turn crimson as well as imagining doing things to him, things that would be considered X-rated, that would make a certain white-haired hermit die of blood loss. Currently Gato was hiding inside his office pissing himself from fear as he, along with his unfortunate bodyguards, can hear the sound of flesh being sliced, men screaming in agony and mercy only to be silence. A loud banging noise could be heard from the other side of the room as the mercs were begging their boss to let them in. Boss, please let us in. This guy is not human. He's death himself or a demon sent to kill us all. Please boss, let Okami don't please Gak. There was a moment of silence before the door blasted open revealing Naruto with 1 foot above a decapitated head before crushing it to mush. Without any warning Naruto fired off 5 quick shots, killing the last of Gato's hired mercenaries. Well Gato, all your men are dead. You will be as well unless you give me the keys to the dungeon you keep all the people you imprisoned in and give me all your money, then I'll let you live. Naruto said. Gato quickly handed him the key to the basement dungeon and the vault combination number. The vault contained scrolls which held all the money Gato earned and pilfered over the years. Naruto decided to take half and give the rest to the people of Nami. Naruto then summoned 2 clones, ordering them to stay with Gato, while he, the original Naruto, freed the prisoners. Naruto saw the people who were kept in prison, the majority being women. Naruto made 5 cage buncheons to free them and escort them upstairs. Naruto-kun, I can feel a Bijuu's Jinchuriki nearby. 2 in fact. Siko said with a worried tone as she could feel their distress. It had been a while since she last viewed the memory of each Bijuu that held her beast chakra form. Naruto made his way to a prison cell where Siko sensed the 2 Bijuu containers. There, in that small prison cell, he saw 6 women, 2 of which he could sense contained the tailed beasts. The first woman had blonde, straight hair, fair skin, dark eyes and C-cup breast. Naruto could feel Bijuu chakra coming from her. The second was also blonde, her hair reaching to her shoulders cut in asymmetric bob style with front bangs, fair skin, blue eyes, and E-cup breasts. The third woman had orange hair, tan skin, brown eyes and C-cup breasts. The fourth woman, she had long, black hair, fair skin, black pupilless eyes, and D-cup breasts. The fifth woman had light gray hair, dark skin, green eyes, and F-cup breasts. The last woman had mint green hair, dark skin, orange eyes, and C-cup breast. Like the first woman Naruto could also feel Bijuu chakra coming from her. Each of them were wearing tattered clothes which allow him to see that each of them had the muscular build affiliated with Kunoichi, which suggests they were in fact Kunoichi. How Gato captured them was beyond him. Who are you? Are another one of Gato's men? The mint green-haired women asked. Naruto shook his head in a no. No, I'm actually the guy who took him down and now the person who's going to free all of you. I'm Adol Christine by the way. Naruto said before opening their prison cell. Upon closer observation, Naruto could see chakra seal restraints, chakra suppression seals and chakra siphon seals which absorb their chakra if they decided to use any. The first blonde stood up. My name is Yujito Nai, and these here are Samui, Sasam, Katohim, Mabui and Fu. She said introducing the others. Hidden there's something off about him. I could feel the power of a Bijuu's Yaokai coming from him, but it feels like all 9 of us. Her Bijuu said, shocking Yujito though she didn't show it. Fu, I can feel the power of a Bijuu. It feels like all 9 of us are inside him, but I sense no hostility from him. Keep your guard up. Fu nodded at her Bijuu's words. Naruto took a step forward, raising his hand to show he meant no harm. Okay, I'll be removing the seals from you, so you might as well tell me how you 5 got here. Naruto said as he started removing the chakra seals. Sasam and I are from the Fuuma clan from Rice country. We fled our home when a man named Orochimaru came with the promise of making our clan strong again, but Sasam's cousin Arashi sought off his deception and turned down his offer. Orochimaru then proceeded in killing us off. We were able to escape, but we were exhausted and fleeing, and we decided to camp in on one night. We were then captured by Gato's men and brought here with the intention of using us as his personal playthings. If it weren't for the anti-rape seal Sasam made, they would have succeeded in doing so. Katohime said with a sad tone. Naruto was saddened by what happened to their clan, angered at Orochimaru for attacking their clan, and amazed by Sasam's anti-rape seal. I'm sorry that happened to the two of you, and I am impressed by the seal you made, Sasam, since it prevented them from using you and your friends' bodies as mere sex toys for Gato. Naruto said with a genuine smile that got her to blush. Thank you for the praise, Adol-san. Though, I'm still a novice in seals since I have limited knowledge of them. Sasam said. Naruto lightly chuckled. Regardless, you still impress me, and now so what your story? Naruto said, then turned his attention to the other four women. The three of us are from Kumagakure and Fu is from Takigakure. Mabui stated. You see, Samui and Yujito were supposed to be married to the Yondaime Hokage's son for a marriage agreement, and I was tasked to oversee the meeting between the two, but we were betrayed by the escort team assigned to us. We suspected it was a member of the council. When we got captured, we're sent here, and we overheard the guards mentioning that Fu and Yujito were going to be sold to a group called Akatsuki, along with the news of the destruction of Konoha. Mabui said with a sad expression. As for me, Taki decided to sell me to Gato in exchange for funding, and like what Mabui-san said, Gato was planning to sell me and Yujito to Akatsuki, whoever they are. Fu said with hate in her voice. Naruto didn't show any facial expression aside from a left eye twitch. Since Samui and Yujito were to be his wives, he didn't know what to make of it but brush it off to another topic. Akatsuki. Naruto knew about them and their goals since Konan told her about them. The Akatsuki is a group of people with the sole task of capturing and extracting the Bijuu in hopes of creating a powerful weapon. Naruto informed them, getting a gasp, while Samui merely narrowed her eyes at Naruto. How do you know this, Adol-san? She asked. Information and gossip around one of being they are composed of S-rank missing nin, Naruto said as the final chakra seals were removed. All done, now let's get out of here, shall we? Naruto said, getting nods of agreement from the six women. Humming upstairs, the prisoners, including the six women, saw Gato hog-tied like a pig that he was, with a gag ball in his mouth, before gesturing to them to follow him towards the exit. So, Sasam, what you think of Adol-san? Katohime asked with a hint of lust in her voice, as she spared a glance to the gun sword-toting shinobi. Well, I can sense he's powerful and a master of seals, judging by how he removed each seal restraints. Maybe we should stick with him. Sasam said. Katohime nodded to her fellow Fu, the clanswoman. She was correct. Adol, Naruto, was indeed strong from the number of bodies that were cut in half that they bypassed. They saw Naruto stop. You can come out now, Zabuza, along with your companion, or do you want me to make both of you come out? Naruto called out. Zabuza, along with what Naruto could tell was a fake Kiri hunter shinobi, came out. So tell me, Zabuza, have you really stooped so low that you would willingly work for a slime like Gato? Naruto said, placing his hand on the hilt of Zangetsu. Zabuza sighed as Naruto was clearly stronger than him, so he decided to tell him about the Kiri civil war. By the end of it, Naruto was deep in thought since thanks to this civil war the trip to Yuzu was stalled. That left him with one option. How about this, Zabuza? I'll give you the money Gato promised you. In exchange you introduce me, along with my companion, to the rebel leader. As for the why I am asking you, I will tell once we are at the rebel camp. Naruto said. This surprised both Zabuza and the fake hunter, since they didn't expect him doing this, but Zabuza was not one to look a gift horse in the mouth. Okay, you got yourself a deal. Zabuza stopped at the last part, realizing he didn't know the name of the guy is. Naruto scratched the back of his head in a mild embarrassment. Well, I'm Adol Kristen. And see to meet you, Zabuza and fake hunter-san. Naruto did a mock bow. Nice to meet you as well, Adol-san. And my name isn't fake hunter-san, it's Haku. The hunter nin removed the mask, revealing her cream-white skin, dark eyes and hair. Naruto looked at Haku, then back to Zabuza. So I'm guessing she's your daughter or something? Naruto asked, getting a nod from Zabuza. Yes, she is, adopted though. I found her one day and decided to take her in. Zabuza said. Naruto nodded with a small smile. Naruto arrived at the main living area of Nami, and the prisoners, minus the six women, went to find their friends, family and loved ones. Naruto couldn't help but smile seeing as he, along with Konan, helped the people of Nami. But he had one last gift for them. People of Nami no Kuni, he shouted to get their attention, which he was quick to receive. I give you Gato. Naruto said, then tossed Gato on the ground. Now I am a man of my word. I promised him in exchange for all his money and the prisoners I would let him live, but I didn't say anything about all of you now, did I? Once Naruto finished, each of the villagers surrounded the scared man. The lust for retribution burned within their eyes. Konan, along with Kaisa's family, approached Naruto. "Thank you so much, Adol-san, we are forever in your debt," Kaisa said before stretching out his hand. Naruto took his hand and shook it. "Think nothing of it," Naruto said before handing him the scroll which contains half of the money Naruto took from Gato. "But this you should be able to get your country out of its lumps. I will also be handing you the deed of this place, making you the new daimyo of this place, Kaisa," Naruto said, making Kaisa's wife cry tears of joy. They got their country back and now they got the chance of making it prosper. "Thank you once again, Adol-san. The people of Nami owes a debt that we may not be able to pay, but name it I will do to my best ability," Kaisa said, his voice shaken from the amount of happiness he was feeling. Naruto just smiled at them. "Well, me and my companion were looking for a boat to take us to Kurigakure. Don't worry about Sabusa. He's working for me, trust me," Naruto said. Kaisa nodded, trusting Naruto's words. "Okay, but it will take time to rebuild the place. 2 weeks at most, so you might as well stay in our place. I'm sure my wife and her dad wouldn't mind," Kaisa said, getting a nod from his family. Naruto looked to Konan, who gave a casual nod. "We will take you up on that offer, Kaisa-san," Naruto said. He then turned his attention to the 6 women. "So what are you 6 going to do now?" Naruto asked them. "Well, if you're fine with it, Adol-san, we were thinking of tagging along with you. Yujito, Samui and I need to lay low till we can get in contact with Asama, the Reikage," Mabui stated, then gestured to Sasam. "Also Sasam here wants to learn seals from you and Katohim since she's her clanswoman," she finished. Naruto was a bit surprised, but nonetheless he understood. "I have no problem with it. But all of you going to have to ask Konan-chan." Naruto turned to his blue-haired companion, who was keeping an impassive face. Inwardly, however, she was suspicious that these sluts, in her opinion, would try and steal her Naruto-kun. "It matters not to me so long as they don't slow us down, but I must ask, why Kurigakure?" Konan asked. Naruto scratched the back of his head. "Well, since there is a civil war going on, if we travel all the way to Yuzu, we may get bombarded of suspicion of working for the other side of the faction. Look, I'll explain everything when we get there so I don't have to repeat myself, okay Konan-chan?" Naruto explained. Konan nodded before leaving to follow Kaisa to his house, ignoring the painful screams of Gato as the villagers were getting their revenge. And it had been 2 weeks since Nami no Kuni was saved by Naruto, or rather Adol Kristen. The results of his and Konan's escapades earned him the moniker Akayadoru Adol the Red for obvious reasons. Konan had earned a reputation for herself as well, becoming the Tsubasa no Shurum no Megami winged huntress due to people seeing her wing paper technique when she hunted down the rest of Gato's mercenaries. During the 2 weeks, Naruto stayed teaching Sasam about seals and seal jutsu. Starting from basic to advanced seals and seal theory. Naruto was pleased that Sasam was able to grasp the art of seals quickly. He briefly wondered if she was part Uzumaki. But quickly shrugged it off as someone who had a knack for the art of seal. Sasam wasn't the only one Naruto was helping. Naruto also assisted Katohim with her hair jutsu. It came as an inspiration from Kona's paper jutsu. Naruto told her how to further manipulate her hair to form things such as weapons, clothing or an extra hand. By manipulating chakra into her hair, she could further extend the length of her hair and then manipulate it to create various things such as a drill, a giant fist, a dragon's head, claws, clothing, etc. Since they were part of the Fuma clan, Naruto crafted them both a bow sword with a seal that allowed them to manipulate their chakra into creating chakra arrows. An Sera's bow sword from 13 franc 2. Unknown to Naruto, his actions further deepened their Sasam and Katohim affections towards him. They made a note to ask Konan if she was open to sharing. Naruto smiled fondly at the memory. He could honestly say he loved Konan as much as he loved Siko. Speaking of the demoness, she had given him some amusing news. She had looked into the memory of the Kyuubi to see what has gone on in Konoha after its destruction at his hands. First, the Fire Daimyo had cut nearly half of their funding due to the reports that he received about his, Naruto, treatment in Konoha and how his parents neglected him. Second, their military strength was reduced in half due to his Shinra Tensei. Naruto couldn't help but snicker in amusement. They had no other choice than to recall all their shinobi that were on missions back. This only hurt their economy more as most of the clients they left died or were left to defend themselves. It was a poor choice which reduced how much missions were coming in. It was minimal at best. Third, which was the most amusing of all by far, his former father was severely injured. By severely, he had lost his left leg, his right eye, and he had a scar due to a sharp piece of wood stabbing him, just missing his kidney, but he could care less if the man died since his former family was basically dead to him. His former mother was seeing Inoichi Yamanaka due to a psychological breakdown and chances were 50-50 that she'd recover. His former twin sisters were shell-shocked but otherwise fine. He assumed that the Kyuubi's chakra healed them. From what Seiko told him they, along with the Jonin he was with, only survived due to Kushina's and the twins' chakra chains, which acted to shield them from the blast of his, Naruto, jutsu. But still it wasn't powerful enough since they sustained some injuries. His former godparents were wallowing in guilt due to realizing that they too ignored him to the point where they either forgotten about him. To make matters worse, apparently he was the child of prophecy that the old hermit told his former parents about, not his twin sisters. But they didn't mope around too much. Jiraiya summoned his toad animals to act as guards in case any of Konoha's enemies were to attack. Every single shinobi, Anbu, Jonin, Chunin and Genin that were recalled or weren't caught in the blast also acted as border guards and patrol, with the same reason to defend what was left of their village. His former villagers were looking for blood. Others wanted him under their thumbs because of the power he possessed and some wanted forgiveness. Delusional fools. It surprised Naruto how much Seiko was able to retrieve just by simply looking at the memory of the Kyuubi, but he wasn't one to look a gift horse in the mouth. He knew that he caused a major power imbalance since Konoha wasn't the strongest hidden village anymore and every hidden village knew it. But he didn't care that he caused a major upset or that his former village was now at shit level. No, he paid them no mind at all. He never meant it to happen, it just did. So why in Kami's name should he dwell on this? Why should he? His thoughts were interrupted by the Nanabi container, phew. Adol-san, Kaiza says we are about to depart. She said, bringing him out of his thoughts. Ah, yes, thank you, phew. I will be there shortly, Naruto replied. Naruto felt a little odd since he has yet to talk with the two Jinchuriki, but he had talked with Samui and Mabui. First, with Samui, they started talking after Naruto offered her a shoulder massage. Naruto guessed it was because of her large chest, not that he'd say it out loud. He found Samui to be a cool and calm person once you get past the Ice Queen attitude, but had a good sense of humor. With Mabui, it was easy since she was an open person to talk to. She was calm, collective, cheerful and easy to get along with. During the 2 weeks Samui had asked Naruto to spar with her so she could get back to shape since she was worried that her skills may have dulled a bit when they were imprisoned. Naruto agreed to spar with her in Kinjutsu. Flashback. Naruto was standing on the opposite side of Samui. He was wearing a white muscle shirt and black jogging pants. Samui was wearing a dark blue sports bra and black jogging pants. On the left side was Mabui, who was the official referee for their spar. Are you two ready? Mabui asked the two combatants. Both nodded. Naruto brought out Overture and Samui brought out a simple katana. Okay, start. Mabui signaled to the two. In an instant, sparks began to appear as both blades clashed with each other. Naruto could easily tell she was a seasoned jonin by the way they were clashing blades with each other. And Samui could also tell Naruto was a master at Kinjutsu and his style was something she hadn't seen before. Naruto held Overture with his right hand while his left hand was free to make a one-handed jutsu. To others it may be strange since you would need two hands, but years of training over his chakra made it possible for Naruto to do a one-handed seal or with low-level techniques, no hand seal required. Once again, they clashed with each other. Naruto was pushing her back. It amazed Samui that Naruto was able to push her back with only one hand holding his sword, but still pack the same amount of power and balance that you would normally when a sword was held with two hands. This just showed how skilled Naruto was in Kinjutsu. You're good, Adol-san. You're holding your sword with nothing more than your right hand and still manage to produce the same amount of power and balance that you would normally have when you are holding a sword with two hands. That's cool. Samui praised. Naruto smiled sheepishly at that. Well, you're not bad yourself, Samui. I can tell just by your deduction that you too are a master of Kinjutsu. But what say you if we go another level? Think you can keep up? Naruto's asked. Suddenly Samui was in front of him with a lightning-enhanced blade. Naruto quickly channeled his wind element through his blade to block Samui's sword since wind was a natural insulator for lightning. Attacking when your opponent least expects it. Cool. Naruto chuckled at the last part as he imitated Samui while holding her back. I let that one slide, Adol-san, but it is tactic. Naruto nodded and then pushed against Samui's blade to send her back bit before slashing rapidly with his wind-coated sword. Ufu Sarasu Gale slash. She stumbled a bit and saw some cuts around her side, not life-threatening, just shallow cuts. She was about to ask, but Naruto beat her to it. My attack uses my wind element, allowing me pierce you even if you were defending. Naruto told her, seeing as she was about to ask. Samui nodded before channeling her other element, her sword. The Koku no Arashi Imperial Storm. Using her blade, she channeled her storm release to launch at Naruto. Naruto knew he had only one attack that he could use to counter it. He only hoped Samui would be fine. Channeling his wind element through his sword and manipulating the wind around him, the blonde male struck. Akurasu no Nami Backlash Wave. Naruto's technique created a large wind vortex that swallowed up Samui's own technique and sent it straight back at her. Once the smoke cleared Naruto, Samui on the ground hurt bearing a few lacerations and was unconscious. He quickly got to her side and healed her. On the side, Mabui was amazed by Naruto's skills with a sword. She knew Samui was one of their strongest Kenjutsu masters, but for Naruto to be able to keep up with her and beat her was amazing, even if it was just a simple spar. Flashback ends. After healing her, Naruto had apologized, but Samui simply waved it off saying she was fine and she enjoyed the spar they had. Samui told him that if he needed someone to spar with she would be available. Mabui had also asked Naruto if he would help train her since she was a former jonin before becoming the secretary for the Raikage. Naruto agreed happily. He was just happy he was able to bond with the two, but his concern was with the two Biju containers. He had yet to talk to the two Biju containers and he knew they too wanted to talk to him. He knew their personal Biju had told both of them about being able to feel Seiko but couldn't get a good grasp of it. It was only a matter of time and Naruto knew it would be soon. Aiza started to set sail once Naruto sat down beside Haku. Naruto found that she too felt the sting of being alone or hated for something out of their control. Instantly both became friends and sparring partners as well with Samui. Naruto found Haku to be a very formidable opponent to face, especially her mastery over her ice release. An example was her demonic ice mirrors, as Naruto soon found out during their spar. Flashback. It was early in the morning as the sun was beginning to rise and Naruto was doing his routine workout. Push-ups, pull-ups, and jogging. On the sidelines Haku was observing Naruto watching in full detail, which would explain the redness on her cheeks. I wonder if Kami herself sculpted his body. She thought. You know it's not nice to spy on people, so you might as well come out. Naruto said as he was taking a sip of water. Haku came out of her hiding place. So how did you sense me? I am sure that I hid my presence quite well. She said as she made her way towards him. It was thanks to my enhanced senses that I was able to, Haku. Naruto replied. Naruto noticed Haku was wearing a light blue training bra, black jogging pants and white shoes. So I take it that you are about to start your morning workout? Naruto, he asked. Haku nodded. You're correct, Adol-san. Though if I may ask, would you like to have a small spar? Haku suggested, already shifting to a fighting stance. A small grin crept onto Naruto's face at her suggestion. Sure, Haku. I would like that. Naruto said as he too got into a fighting stance. Both shinobi engaged in a taijutsu fight, blocking, dodging or parrying each other's moves. And just like Samui when he spared with her, Haku could see that his taijutsu was something she hadn't seen. His style gives little to no opening at all. If you dodge one of his attacks, he presses forward giving you little time to recover. If you block his attacks you still get damage enough to break your defense, and Haku couldn't finish her thought when she had to duck under a roundhouse kick from Naruto. After Haku ducked under his kick, Naruto quickly followed with a back heel kick that sent her flying. Naruto quickly jumped into the air where he sent Haku and delivered a downward heel kick, sending her crashing to the ground. Landing gracefully, Naruto addressed the ice user. You shouldn't let thoughts distract you, Haku. It could just mean your end. Naruto lectured. Haku recovered, coughing slightly and wiping off some blood from her lips. I'll keep that in mind, Adol-san. She said before quickly making a hand seal. Fueton. To top a wind release. Great breakthrough. Naruto quickly countered with his own jutsu. Oten. Doryuheki Earth, release mud wall. Blocking the powerful gust of wind. Making another one-handed seal, Naruto quickly followed up on his attack. Doten. Doryuden no Jutsu Earth release. Earth Dragon Bullet Technique. He spewed a glob of earth and mud that quickly morphed into the image of a dragon head. Kaiten. Kiryuenden no Jutsu Fire release. Fire Dragon Blast Technique. The fire dragon that came after the earth dragon melded with said earthen counterpart. Haku then blocked Naruto's jutsu as she quickly formed a bird hand seal and manipulated the water in the atmosphere. Suiten. Sujinheki no Jutsu Water Release. Water Encampment Wall Technique. Haku quickly followed, making a quick hand seal. Haku froze the large wall of water with her ice release, stopping Naruto's jutsu. Impressive, Haku. Truly you have mastered your element to a high level. Naruto praised her, getting Haku to get a bit flustered, and then he continued. But you should know you ain't the only one who mastered elemental affinity to a high level. Hyoten. Hyokami Paku Ice Release. Ice Wolf Pack. Naruto said. The ice wall Haku made quick turn into a pack of ice like wolf charging at her. It took a second to realize Naruto had used her ice wall and manipulated it to make his jutsu, but the question is how. If you're wondering how I manipulated your ice wall, the answer is simple. My jutsu still had some of my chakra and I used it as a conduit to manipulate your ice wall into my ice wolf pack. Naruto said, answering her thoughts. Haku was amazed and scared at the same time. Amazed at Naruto's skill in elemental manipulation, even going as far as manipulating an opponent's own jutsu, and it scared her just the same. Looks like I have to use that jutsu. Haku said to herself. Performing several hand seals, Haku finally used her ace. Hijutsu. Makyohai Asho secret jutsu. Demonic ice mirrors. Naruto found himself surrounded by ice mirrors. This is something else, Haku. Naruto said nonchalantly, but he could feel the chakra coming off each mirror and it impressed him how great her mastery over her ice release was. Thank you, Adole-san, but can you keep up? She said with a challenging tone. Naruto simply grinned at her challenge, then summoned Zangetsu. Naruto had placed a seal that had the same properties as a summoning jutsu, so even if one of his swords was a Kumo and he was in Suna, he could just easily summon his sword like summoning a summoning animal. Let's find out, shall we, Haku? Naruto said, accepting her challenge. The jutsu. Sensatsu Sushi secret technique. 1,000 flying water needles of death. 1,000 senbon made of ice shot off from the mirrors surrounding Naruto. Naruto gripped his sword, then channeled Zangetsu's energy. He spun around and made a cloak of dark energy. Yujetsu no Gon moonless gown. The senbon were deflected back at her, shocking the ice user, but it was still not enough to destroy her ice mirror. Itsuga Tensho Nami Moon Fang Heaven Wave. Naruto spun around, engulfing the ice mirror dome in dark reddish energy. Haku felt the overwhelming energy, and Haku's eyes widened when she saw her mirrors start to crack. She pumped as much chakra as she could to reinforce their stability, but it did no good as she soon saw one shatter. Then another. Such power. Those were her last words before her entire jutsu was shattered apart and the power of Tensa Zangetsu washed over her body. Haku fell to the ground and Naruto knelt down to her grounded form with a smile on his face. Haku's eyes flickered as she struggled to maintain consciousness. That was a great spar, Haku, you are truly one of the best opponents I have ever faced. Those were the last words she heard before going unconscious. Flashback ends. After that incident, they continued to train with each other, along with Samui and Mabui, since she needed to get her former strength back and get strong. Unknown to him though, each of the girls developed a crush on him, not that they'd admit it. Zabuza sat next to Naruto. So tell me, Zabuza, who's the leader? Naruto asked. Naruto saw a slight shiver run down Zabuza's spine, like he remembered something bad, and saw Haku stiffen. She's my cousin. The one thing you should know is never mention age or marriage around her. Zabuza said in a very serious and scared tone, making Naruto nod slightly, wondering what got him so scared of this person. So did you tell your rebel friends to expect us, Zabuza? Naruto asked. Zabuza nodded. Yeah, I already sent a letter. They should be expecting us at the south end of the island near the rebel camp. Zabuza replied. Naruto excused himself and went to find Konan in the private quarters of the ship. Naruto found her brushing her beautiful blue hair. Hey Konan-chan. I'm sorry I haven't spent as much time with you. Naruto said as he stepped in the room. He then locked the door and quickly placed down some privacy seals. No, it's fine. You were busy. She said, not turning around to face him. Naruto sighed and hugged her from behind, giving her a loving smile. No, it's not fine. I've ignored you and I want to make it up to you. Naruto said in a gentle tone. Konan got out of his hug, then turned around to face him. Okay Kaiza, bring us ashore. Zabuza said. Kaiza nodded and then brought the ship. Zabuza-san, someone should tell Adole-san and Konan-san that we've arrived. Kaiza said. Just before anyone could go and fetch them, the two people in question appeared. The first thing they noticed was Konan having a slight limp and a certain afterglow around her. Looks like we are just in time, eh Konan-chan? Naruto said with a hidden smirk, proud of his accomplishment. Konan didn't respond as she tried to hide her blush since she was still feeling the after effect of her orgasm, but managed to nod. Naruto just chuckled at her response. Off to the side, Yujito couldn't look at Naruto since a certain demon cat was sending her images of him and her going at it like rabbits in heat and demanding her to tie him down and ride him for all his worth. Nibi. We'll stop with the perverted images. Yujito cried out to her demon. After you tie Adole-kun down on a bed and ride him. Until then I'll continue sending you images. The perverted Bakenko said as she continued sending her container perverted images that would be considered illegal, much to the irk of Yujito. Naruto raised a single eyebrow at Yujito and thought she might have a fever since her face was a very dark shade of red. Naruto was about to ask if she was okay but stopped when he saw Samui got to her side. Is she okay, Samui? Naruto asked with a concerned tone. Samui nodded. She is, Adole-san. She assured him. Naruto nodded and then got off the boat along with the others to find a frozen Zabuza. What wrong, Zabuza? It's like you saw a ghost or something. Naruto said following Zabuza's gaze. Naruto then blinked in surprise as he faced a beautiful woman. She had a long auburn hair, DD cup breasts, fair skin, and hergless figure, green eyes, and was wearing a blue dress. Beside her was an equally beautiful woman with long purple hair which was tied into a ponytail, dark chocolate-colored skin, gold-colored eyes, D-cup breasts, a great, slender yet feminine build, and was wearing an orange attire that Naruto could tell was for both stealth and speed. On the left side off the first woman was a woman with black hair with two braids bound in white cloth, grey eyes, slightly tanned skin, C-cup breasts, and her clothes consisted of a black shirt that didn't cover her back, skin-tight Anbu pants and a pair of black sandals. I'm guessing the woman in the middle is the leader of the rebel group. Am I correct, Zabuza? Naruto asked. All Zabuza did was nod slightly. Okay, then allow me to introduce myself. I am Adol Kristen. A pleasure to meet your acquaintance. Naruto said. The first woman smiled flirtingly. The pleasure is all mine, Adol-kun. I'm Mei Terumi. The woman on my right is Uruchi Shihoin. The dark-skinned woman gave Naruto a seductive look before winking. And the woman on my left is Sui Feng. The dark-haired woman gave him an impassive look before nodding. Now from the message Zabuza told us, you are here to help end the bloodline war. Why? Mei asked, curious as to why he would assist them. Naruto simply told them what happened 2 weeks ago. Also, the cargo of the ship contains weapons, food supplies, medical supplies and other necessities you need aside from me and my companion's assistance. I believe that's proof enough that we are here to help. Naruto said. It's more than enough, and I am also impressed that you were able to knock out my cousin with only one punch. Mei said, giggling at the last part. Yes, it seems little Zabuza is losing his touch, Uruchi teased, causing Zabuza to sulk, covered by a dark visible aura around him. Well, all jokes aside, I'll have my subordinates carry the cargo back to our camp and we'll continue our discussion back there. Mei said. Everyone, including Zabuza who still had that depressed aura around him, nodded and followed the three women. And? So you're telling me after you knock out little Zabuza over here you proceeded in slaughtering each one of those mercenary that Gato hired. After which you went to free the slaves he had kept. In the process you meet these 5 girls who ask to join you till it's safe to contact their village, and on your way back to the small town Zabuza ask you if you could help us in ending the civil war. Which you agree, did I get that right? Well, you summarized that perfectly, Uruchi-san. Yes, that all happened over 2 weeks ago. After arriving at the shores of Kiri, the group proceeded back to the rebel camp. On their way, Uruchi asked Naruto how he convinces Zabuza to let them join in the fight, not that they were complaining. But it's better to be safe than sorry. So Naruto proceeded in telling them the events 2 weeks ago, much to Zabuza's embarrassment and irk, knowing the dark-skinned beauty will be using this to her advantage. Uruchi stared at Zabuza with an amused look. Well, it seems the big bad swordsman got his ass handed to him by a teen. What wrong, Zabuza, losing your touch, she teased, much to Zabuza's dismay. Now Uruchi-chan, it's not Zabuza's fault for losing to such a strong young man as Adol-kun. He's just been spending too much time with a fat rich slob relaxing. So he may have gotten seduced by the comfort and luxury. Well, some of us make sure that our people don't get killed by some mad lunatic who thinks we are a bunch of freaks, may guilt-tripping Zabuza causing said men to feel a less of men. And flirt with Naruto, pressing her impressive bust on his left arm, causing him to blush a little. Mei didn't approve of who her cousin formerly worked with, and a person like Gato, well, let's just say thous are the people on her people I want to melt list. Seeing the small blush on the young ten-tail container, Uruchi smirked mischievously. She grasped the blonde's right arm and pressed her bust, causing him to tense and go red. What's wrong, Adol-kun, you seem tense, Uruchi said in a fake curiosity. Mei catching continue on, and you seem red, Adol-kun, do you have a fever, also sounding fake concern. Sweet Kami, help me or I may just passed out, Naruto prayed. Thankfully Kami was listening. Excuse me, Mei-san, Uruchi-san. I need to have a little chat with Adol-san, it's private matter, said sickening sweet voice, belonged to the blue-haired beauty, having seen enough of this two hussies try to seduce her men. She was almost tempted to use her 1000 paper explosion technique on them almost. Detecting the dangerous edge of her tone and added to the fact that they could see a dark visage behind the blue-haired beauty, the two reluctantly let go of Naruto. Naruto then whispered to her, thanks Konan-chan. Konan sent a small smile to her lover. No problem, Naruto-kun, she whispered back before sending a dagger glare at the two women who were acting innocently, as if trying anything on the young blonde. A few minutes they arrived at the rebel camp. Naruto scanned around, he could feel most of them were at least high chunin to mid jonin, with a few being high jonin. Naruto saw all of them looking at him and his group wearily. He couldn't really blame them. Naruto glanced around to see a lot of injuries with only a few medics treating them. Naruto frowned and made a mental note to aid them later. Mei lead them to the war tent. Inside, Naruto saw several people whom he assumed they were her main officers. Welcome back, Mei-sama. I see the trip was successful. A guy with blue hair and an eye patch said. Yes, it was Ao. And I would like you to meet Adol Kristen. Mei gestured to Naruto. Ao extended his hand in a friendly handshake, which Naruto accepted. It's nice to meet you. From Zabuza's letter you came highly recommended by him, Ao said. Yuruchi snickered at that. Yeah, he would, since Adol-kun knock him out in a single move. This caused the room to go deathly quiet. It was well known that Zabuza was one of the best, second only to Kisame. So to find out that someone managed to knock someone as him, well, it was frightening. Naruto though could only sigh. Gee, put on the spot, why won't Yuruchi-san? Said woman gave him a thumbs up while smiling at him. Okay, let's get this meeting started, Mei-san, Naruto said, wanting to get this over. Not that he didn't enjoy Yuruchi's antics, no he didn't, he's not just used on being on the spot. Adol-kun is right. Ow, what are your reports and our current situation? Mei said, changing the atmosphere into a serious one. Ao nodded and began to read the report that came in. The situation has gone dire, Mei-sama. It would have seemed two Jinchuriki has allied themselves to Yagura. With it the room became tense. Mei was almost afraid to ask, but knowing this is vital she did. Who are the two Jinchuriki, she asks. The Yanbi are 4 tails and the Gobi are the 5 tails. Naruto raised an eyebrow. 2 missing Nineveh allying with the 3 tail. Whoever is controlling them must have a grudge against Kirisiko-chan. Can you set up Lincoln without Jinchuriki? Naruto asks the demoness. Yes Naruto-kun, I can, and I already know why, Siko replied back. Naruto mentally nodded and continued to listen to Ao. Our current strength is adequate since most of our men gravely injured and our medical team are too overwhelmed by the number of people they to treat. This is when Naruto voiced his idea. Mei-san, I would like to help with this problem. Mei glanced at Naruto. Adol-kun, the number of people who need treated are a lot, and even with your help, it may not just be enough. Naruto simply smirked at that and brought out a paper, much to their confusion of the other. Aside from Konan, this here is a seal I made that replicated the effect of the mystic palm jutsu that your medical team can use. I've further enhanced this by adding an extra feature. The secondary feature is designed to quickly aid them in quickly regaining their chakra. Inwardly Naruto was laughing his ass off at their shocked faces when he explained the mechanics of the seal. I knew Adol-kun was good, but I didn't know he was a seal master on par with a Uzumaki, Yuruchi said with a grin on her face, finding Naruto more and more intriguing. I have to agree, Yuruchi-sama, Adol-san seal is impressive, Sui-Feng commented. Naruto was chuckling. Oh stop it, you're embarrassing me, he said while waving his hands. Mei and everyone else could only giggle at the sight. Yes, it seems the tense atmosphere is now gone. Okay, let's have Ao-san finish his report, after which I'll make several healing seals and hand them over to your medical team, Naruto said, gesturing to Ao to continue. Actually, aside from that, nothing too serious since we've gotten the supplies that Adol-san delivered. Mei nodded. I will end today's meeting, and with that it was over. Everyone nodded and began to leave. Mei-san, I'll get started making the seals, Naruto said, then taking out several sheets of paper and unsealing an ink jar and started making the seal. A few minutes later it was done. Okay, I'm finished, here you go, Naruto, then handed the seal to the head medic, said medic. Thank Naruto, who simply waved it off. It's fine, no need for thanks, I'm happy to have help. His words were before leaving to retire to his tent. On his way Naruto stopped for a bit and a small smile marred his face. Is there a reason you're following me, Yuruchi? The dark-skinned beauty stepped out with a small smile of her own. I shouldn't be surprised really. To answer your question, Adol-kun, would you care for a spar? Naruto's smile turned into a smirk and he simply gestured to her to lead the way. Arriving at a clearly both stood face to face. Naruto was about to say something when suddenly Yuruchi blurred out of existence and next thing he knew she was holding his bandana he tied around his right arm. Naruto simply chuckled at that. So that's Jinto or swift release, impressive Yuruchi. Well, I shouldn't be really, you are after all the goddess of flash, Naruto complimented, getting more and more intrigue with the woman in front with him. Before replying Yuruchi untied her hair, letting her purple hair fall. Naruto had to admit she looked beautiful. She then tied her hair back into a ponytail with his bandana. Adol-kun, this little spar of ours will be a game of tags of sorts. The challenge is that you try to take your bandana back. The rules, no jutsu, just jutsu and our speed. Naruto smirk in amusement. This day just got more fun, it sound more like a test than a spar, Yuruchi-chan, Naruto said, preparing for their spar. Yuruchi only smiled back and said. Think what you will, Adol-kun. But what you should be thinking is, can I keep up? And with that the two vanish with Naruto in pursuit of the flash goddess. Two fast blurs leap from one tree to the other. Naruto still in pursuit. Is that all you got, Adol-kun? Yuruchi taunted the silver blonde male who gave a casual grin. Oh sorry, did you? He suddenly stop and appear in front of her. Then continue. Say something. Yuruchi was taken aback by his sudden speed but quickly shook it off just as Naruto was about to grab his scarf. She gave him a swift mid-air kick, seeing this Naruto block it with her left arm. Using the moment she quickly speed past him, landing on a nearby tree, and Naruto did the same. That was a dirty trick, Adol-kun, she said in a mock anger tone. Oh. I thought you would like it, dirty Yuruchi-chan, he responded in a teasing voice. A sly grin crept up on Yuruchi's lips. Oh, I do, Adol-koi. But what should you ask yourself is like Naruto earlier. She vanished from sight and appeared in front of him delivering a right hook which Naruto quickly blocked, but he was sent flying through the air by an upper kick. Can you handle me, Adol-koi, she said, equally sounding seductive. From the air Naruto simply grinned. He was not hurt, no, he knew both of them were sizing each other. Let's find out together, shall we? Nico-chan. Naruto flip in midair, then made an air dash forwarding towards his opponent with the full intent to deliver a straight punch. Yurichi jumped out of the way, just as Naruto's right fist made contact with the tree branch she was standing on, which was destroyed after Naruto's fist made contact with it. Naruto quickly followed his attack by using the tree as a jump board to propel himself towards the dark-skinned beauty. Yurichi saw the air kick and duck under Naruto, followed with downward kick. Yurichi jumped out of the way. Naruto quickly appeared in front of her and both engage in a hand-to-hand combat. They traded blow for blow, but neither made contact as they either block it or dodge. Naruto sent a right kick, Yurichi replied with her own left kick, blocking each other's own kick, and both were thinking in the same line. She's good, but I can tell she is holding back, both thought. Naruto saw the thoughtful look on her face and gained a knowing smirk. Well, it's time that I step up a notch, Naruto thought. Naruto rushed at her with a sudden burst of speed, taking Yurichi by surprise and sent her flying via uppercut, just returning the favor. Yurichi-chan, Naruto said as he jumped toward her, then sent her an axe kick. Yurichi saw this and blocked it with her arms, but the force of the kick still sent her crashing back. Seeing the opportunity, Naruto quickly got behind her to retrieve his bandana. Yurichi then substituted with a log. I will never know where all these logs are coming from, Naruto though dryly. Naruto twisted his body, then rushed towards Yurichi as she was trying to regroup. Naruto then used a right punch which Yurichi blocked with her right hand, and then she quickly followed with a left kick which Naruto grabbed. Naruto still had a hold on Yurichi's slender legs. Then push her back against the tree they were standing on, essentially pressing his body with hers. Both got a feel of each other's body. Yurichi blushed when she felt his tool, and though his big, she thought. Naruto saw her blush and grin. What's wrong, Nico-chan? Getting bothered, Naruto whisper. Yurichi shiver at his hot breath. Not wanting to be outdone, she wrapped her left leg around his waist. Naruto likewise responded by putting his left hand around her waistline. I don't know it, old kun, you tell me, she said, pushing her impressive bust against his chest. She grinned when she saw a pink hue on his face. Naruto knew her game. Using his free hand, Naruto cupped her face, then her lips in an intimate manner, then softened his gaze in a loving and wanting way. Yurichi's heartbeat fasted when she saw Naruto's gaze. Her heart beat even more when saw him slowly lean in for a kiss. She didn't know what was going on, but her entire body heat up and her loins getting wet. She could see he was still leaning in for a kiss, so she responded by closing her eyes and perk up her lips to accept the kiss. But it never came. Instead, he hear him say, "Got Yurichi Heim." The very flustered Yurichi opened her eyes to see Naruto leaning on another with his bandana on his right hand. She was shocked. She just got out tease. She never got out tease, especially from a man. Shaking of her shock, she grinned. Well, you won our spar. I have to admit that was fun, adult-kun, and you had me there for a second, she said. Naruto smiled at her and nodded likewise. I also enjoyed our spar. Oh, and you never know, I might have actually wanted to kiss you, Yurichi-chan, he said the last part using Shunpo to standing right beside her. Shocking the flash goddess, but before she could say anything he was gone. She blinked a few times before smiling. You just get more and more interesting, adult-kun, was the last thing she said before using Shunshin to vanish as well. Naruto appeared beside Conan, who was observing their spar. So did you enjoy the show, Conan Heim? Naruto asked. Conan nodded. It was entertaining, though I didn't like how you ended it, she said, a little peeved at how he almost kissed that woman. Naruto smiled softly at her before kissing her deeply. Conan quickly returned the kiss. A few minutes they broke off the kiss. Hey, don't get mad, you know I won't actually do that less you approve of her, Naruto said, while gently cupping her face. I know, I just don't like the way thou's too flirting with my men. Well, let's head back, it's getting late, she said. Naruto raised an eyebrow at her possessiveness. He quickly shook it off and walked beside her back to the rebel camp. Next day, Naruto woke up to the sound of someone calling him, or rather his alternate name, Adol-sama. Naruto yawned and moved to see who it was. There was a slight problem. Conan, who was now snuggling into his chest and had a strong grip on him, seeing no other option, he created a sealess shadow clone and substitute with it. Naruto then proceeded to see who it was. What is it, Naruto asked the rebel nin. Adol-sama, Mei-sama has asked your presence at the war tent. Naruto nodded and proceeded to change his cloth, which was consisted of a white muscle shirt with blue lines on the side, dark blue jeans, and a pair of black combat-style boots. Alright, let's go, the rebel nin nodded and both shunshin to Mei's location. Upon arriving, Mei was openly drooling and blushing at seeing Naruto. Oh my, look at Thao's well-sculpted body. If only we didn't have this mission, then I would have asked him to know. Bad Mei, now is not the time for that, maybe later, she thought to herself, then turned around to recompose herself and wipe the drool that formed at the corner of her mouth. Then turn around to discuss Hama. Adol-kun, glad you here now. You're probably wondering why I had called you. Naruto nodded at that. Our scout spotted a caravan filled with bloodline prisoners and supplies. We need you along with Sui Feng. Will be leading a team to free the captured prisoners and raid their supplies. But be cautious, it could also be a trap. Naruto nodded, understanding the mission and what it meaning behind it. Very Mei-san, when do we leave? Naruto said, accepting the mission. As soon as you can gather your equipment, then meet up Suifeng at the camp's exit. Adol-kun. Any question? Will I be able to bring my own team? Yes, but since this is a stealth mission as well, please limit the number of teammates you will bring along. Naruto nodded and turned around to leave, only to be stopped when a pair of slender arms wrap around him and a pair of breasts press up against his back. If you're successful, Adol-kun, I'll reward you, May whisper with an edge of seduction and kiss his cheeks before letting him go. Naruto simply shook his head and sighed at her seduction tactic. Inside his manscape, Siko was giggling too at the current predicament of her mate. Oh my, it seems Minaru-kun is getting popular with the women, right? Claire-chan, Yuzuki-chan, she said teasingly. WW, what are you insinuating? Siko-san, Claire said, stuttering a bit. Yes, I would like to know as well, Yuzuki said calmly, though she had a pink hue on her face that says otherwise. Siko simply smirked. Oh, I simply put that Naru-kun is getting popular with the women. I don't know what the two of you are getting flustered about. Both Spiritual Sword realized that they were tricked into almost admitting they have a crush on their master. Siko giggled at their silence and grinned to herself. Outside of Naruto's mindscape, Naruto was getting his things together for the mission. Mei-san is correct to assume that it may be a trap, since it was too easy for the scouts to spot Caravan and not get notice, Conan said while brushing her blue hair, and it would seem that they don't trust you fully, that's why they handed the mission to you. Even after you help them with their injured and resupply them. They still don't trust us. Naruto wasn't really surprised that she was able to figure out why Mei asked him for this mission. Well, not all of them, I believe only some of them are a bit cautious. You got to admit that what happened yesterday would prove such. Someone just walk up offering help with their supplies and heal their injured out of the goodness of his heart. You got to admit it does sound suspicious. Yes, that would seem suspicious, but still. Naruto sighed softly at her stubbornness, but it was one quality that he loved about her among other things. Don't worry, after this, I'm sure all their doubts will be gone. Tell the other I'll be back later, love, and I'll see you later, okay, he said before giving her a quick kiss. Naruto stepped outside and went to find the two persons he was going to ask to come with. Luckily he didn't have to search for long. Yujito-san and Fu-san, glad you're both here, Naruto said, gaining their attention. Both blinked before Yujito asked, what do you need? Adol-san. Naruto quickly told them about the mission and the reason behind it. So will you two aid me on this mission? Both women nodded and Naruto smiled happily at that. Good, get your gear ready, I will be waiting for the both of at the camp's exit, and thank you, Naruto said, expressing his gratitude. You're welcome, Adol-san, they said in unison, causing them to laugh a bit. Naruto arrived at the camp's exit and saw Suifeng along with the 10 people Naruto assumed were the team they were both leading. Good morning, Suifeng. Naruto greeted. Good morning, as well Adol-san, are you all set for the mission? She greeted back and asked in a professional tone. Yes, but can for a few minutes for my two teammates to arrive. I sure they won't take long, Naruto asked. Fine, I'll give them 5 minutes, Suifeng replied. Naruto nodded and 5 minutes later both his team members arrived. Well, seeing as we are all here, I brief you. The caravan we're after contains supplies and bloodline prisoners. Our scout spotted it just northeast of here. The mission is simple, we get the supplies and free the prisoners, Naruto started, but also keep in mind that this may also be a trap, so be on your guards and no slacking off. Now let's move, Suifeng finished. And so the mission commences. I was planning on ending it here but decided against it, so this chap may be a bit long maybe, that, and I know most of you will be pissed if I stop it here equals. Arriving at the site they spotted the caravan. On the front were 15 prisoners and from the back were the supplies. Both were heavily guarded. The 5 that are guarding the prisoners from their chakra levels are around low jonin and the other 5 are mid jonin, so expect a hard fight, Naruto informed the team. Suifeng nodded, inwardly impressed that he was able to deduce their chakra levels. Okay, here's the plan, they will be coming around a terrain that will give us enough cover to take out without alerting, but timing. It has to be impeccable, Suifeng explained, then brought out her weapon. Naruto eyed her weapon was a black and gold gauntlet with a small chain linking it to the stinger-like blade on her middle finger. Naruto knew her weapon is suited for stealth assassination and close combat. He could distinguish that weapon was for quickly decisive move and speed. In addition, he could smell traces of a strong poison at the tip of the blade. Naruto-sama, that weapon, I can sense it is also a sentinel blade like me and Claire, Yuzuki informed. Naruto subtly nodded. Thanks for the information, Yu-chan. If Naruto saw Yuzuki he would have seen her blushing red at the affectionate nickname. It's no trouble, Naruto-sama, she said, stuttering a bit. Suifeng saw Naruto, or Adol, you get the idea. Eyeing her weapon, I see you've been looking at Suzumabachi, Hornet, Adol-sen, she said, snapping him back. Naruto cleared his throat a bit. Yes, I can't help but notice your weapon, Suifeng, Naruto said. Oh, tell me what you think of it, she asks. Naruto told her what he thought about her weapon and its use. Suifeng smirked, impressed that he was able to figure that much about her weapon from just a simple glance. You're very perceptive, Adol-san. But enough of this chit-chat, let's finish this mission. Naruto nodded. Each of them were now in their respective place in accordance to Sui Feng plans. Naruto was hiding behind a bush using a stealth jutsu, Fu was using a camouflage jutsu on top of a tree, same goes for Yujito, and Sui Feng was behind a bush as well, and the rest were hiding on top or below. Sui Feng made a hand gesture that said on my signal. Everyone nodded. They saw the caravan slowly made its way through the area. They need to time it well. As soon as the caravan reaches Sui Feng place, she signaled to begin. It was only then Naruto got a bad feeling but shrugged it off. Time slowed down a bit as each member quickly dispatches each of the guards in quick and timed succession, giving them no time to react. Naruto took down 2 guards with his hidden blade, stabbing the back of their heads where the spinal cord and the brain is connected, instantly killing both guards. Fu and Yujito dropped down, killing the guards. Sui Feng stabbed one guard off the neck, killing him instantly, and the rest, well, you get the idea. Sui Feng saw the lock on the cages. It was a lock seal. Adol-san, can you undo the seal locks while I check on the supplies, she called out. Naruto nodded. It should be easy, Naruto replied and gestured for Fu and Yujito to follow. But something in Naruto's gut told him something was wrong. It was just too easy. Hey, are you all okay? Don't worry, we'll get you guys out of this cages, Fu said. One of the prisoners, who was barely alive, stirred and muttered, it's a T-trap. Naruto eyes widen and curse under his breath. Naruto quickly spun around and called out to Sui Feng, Sui Feng, it's a trap. Sui Feng turned just when the supply crate exploded. The force of the explosion sent several meters away. The others weren't so lucky as they got caught within the blast radios. Shit, Naruto curse again and was about go and help her when his senses kick in. Naruto quickly spun around and Crab on his 2 companion pulled them down just in time as hundreds of kunai and shuriken were flying from both sides. Shit, it was a trap. They knew. They knew where we'll attack them and they used their own men as bait. Fuck. Naruto knew they were in a tight spot, but what he was wondering is how did they eluded his senses. There was no time to think of that now. They need to escape and get Sui Feng some need medical attention. Yujito, Fu, we need to retreat. Do you both have smoke pellets? They both nodded. Okay, use them to create a diversion. I'll get Sui Feng, then we get the hell out of here now. They quickly threw their smoke pellets, making a dark cloud of smoke, blocking the enemy's line of sight. Naruto quickly grabbed Sui Feng, quickly checking her condition. She had some minor internal bleeding and few broken ribs. They quickly made their escape. Shit, they're following us. Fu, Yujito, take care of them. Both nodded and made a quick hand seal. Futenfujinajutsu wind release dust cloud technique. Fu created a stream of high velocity wind containing dust particles, both blocking their line of sight and decimating anything caught in it. Raiju Hashirinajutsu lightning release lightning beast running technique. Yujito manipulated her lightning element into her hand and created 4 lightning-like hounds, which thanks to Fu's wind release, successfully striking their pursuers. Good work, you two, this should give us enough time to escape, Naruto said, complimenting them. No problem, but the question is how did they eluded us at the last moment? I mean, we didn't even sense them. Yujito exclaimed the last part. That's what I want to know as well. But we can worry about that later. Sui Feng needs some medical attention and Mei-sama needs to know the mission was a trap, Fu said, with frustration from getting the drop on. Naruto was thinking in the same lines as her, but now the time of worry can come later. Now Naruto was more worried about Sui Feng. And non-human thinking. Get a medic in here now. Fu called out and instantly the head medic appeared along with her help. She didn't need to ask as she looks over Naruto who was carrying a still unconscious Sui Feng. Get me a stretcher now. The head medic ordered. Fu, Yujito, look after her. I need to deliver my report, Naruto said to the 2 Jinchurikis who nodded in response. On his way Naruto bumped into Kotoham and Konan who immediately pick up on his mood. Adol-san, what's wrong? Kotoham asked. I got careless, Naruto simply said, walking past both women, causing them to feel concern over their lover and crush. Konan and Kotoham followed him, decide to find out what happened. They didn't need to walk too far since Naruto stormed the command tent and shouting, where is that fucking scout? Anger evidence in his voice while leaking high amounts of killing intent or Kai aura, making the surrounding and people quiver in fear. Naruto-kun, calm down, you scaring everyone half to death with your Kai. As much as I enjoy people fearing, now is not the time for that. That comes later, the voice of his demoness mate calming him down. Naruto exhale, thanks Siko-chan. For a minute there I lost myself inside his mindscape. Siko smiled softly at her mate. It's expected, since this is your first failure. But not well on it, learn from it, and remember, in the battlefield always expect the unexpected. Siko lectured, and Naruto accepted her words, being reminded that Siko was his mentor even now. Sorry for my sudden outburst, but it was well of reason. We got ambushed, and only me, Fu, Yujito and Sui Feng got away with Sui Feng injured. This got a loud gasp from everyone in the room. Adol, where is my student? Yoruichi asked, serious concern for her student. She's being treated as we speak. She was knocked out by an explosion, but not anything life-threatening, Naruto assured her, which got her to sigh in relief. I need to speak to the scout. It was too convenient that they were able to mount an ambush that quickly. Everyone nodded, then Mei stood up and gestured for Naruto to follow as she too wanted to find out. Conan quickly took to Naruto's side and gave him a knowing nudge. I find Conan-chan just a bit shaken up, Naruto whispered. Conan nodded at her boyfriend's words but still felt concern. The group made their way to the scout tent and quickly Naruto's senses pick up. It was a split second, his danger senses kick in, alerting him to a sudden danger. Naruto saw Mei about to open. That's when he pulled her away and made a one-hand seal Doten. Doryuheki Earth Release Earth Style Wall. Blocking a sudden explosion. What the hell? One of the officers said in surprise. The explosion also attacked everyone else. When the smoke cleared there was a small crater and a burned mark of what used to be a person. It took Naruto a second to assess everything. They let us get away knowing that we'll report about the ambush. If I hadn't stepped in when I did, Mei and the rest would be dead, demoralizing everyone else and signaling the camp's location and those seals. Why didn't I remember sooner? It was the same seals my clone saw. That Kushina made a type of stealth seal. Naruto inwardly cursed himself. He didn't thought the Konoha would recover quickly, so they sold seals to kickstart their economy back, knowing how good the seals were and made by a well-known seal specialist. Naruto thought. He didn't expect that they would recover this quickly and now was paying the consequence of it. This was a systematic plan to get you killed, Mei, and win the civil war in one move, Naruto said, getting the attention of everyone. Mei looked at him seriously. What do you mean, she asked. They used the ambush to lure any major shinobis under your command and let the other go, knowing that they would report what happened. Knowing this, you would have gone to the scout who gave you the report, then kill you along with your officer using the explosion, thus demoralizing the rest, and use the smoke from the explosion as a waypoint to this camp and do a clean sweep of everyone else. Since they would have been too demoralized to fight back, thus making them unable to fight. Silence stricken the whole hour after Naruto's explanation. The enemy was making a play to finish the war and now they were marching at their doorsteps about to do just that, mount up a defensive line and make sure everyone is able to fight. All the injured hide them underground along with the civilians and children. Naruto's voice snapping, everyone, today is the last day of this war and I intend to make sure we win. Are any one of you? For your friends, for the loved ones all of you lost, for all the suffering all of you endure? Naruto asked in a booming voice which riled up everyone. Yes, we are. Naruto smirked. Good, Naruto simply said. Naruto walked over the horizon, activating his Dojutsu for the first time since he left Konoha and spotted an arm coming their way, and at the back 3 Jinchurikis, prepare for the fight of your future and the future of children's and their children's, Naruto said before deactivating his Dojutsu. Naruto-kun, did you get a good look at them? Siko asked. Yes, their eyes, it seems like the 3 of them are in a daze of sorts, but we will only know once this is over, Naruto responded. He let out a sigh. This was the first war he'll be participating in and he knew it wasn't the last. Naruto just knew it won't be. Scene change. Naruto was in the war tent making plans when someone rushed in, and by someone that someone was one Sui Feng. You should be resting and recovering, Naruto said, not taking an eye off the map he was reading. This is the last battle. You will need everyone who can fight. Besides, I'm fully healed thanks to your seal, Sui Feng said with a stubborn voice. The sound of stubbornness was evidence in her voice, and knowing the fact how a woman can be when they are stubborn about something, it was best to agree. Fine, just concentrate on kill shoots, don't drag the fight too long. Got it. Sui Feng nodded and understood the concern behind his voice. Just then Sasam entered the tent. Adol sensei, the seals are in place, she informed. Naruto nodded. Good, Sasam, now remember timing is everything, Naruto said. Sasam looked concerned and she wasn't sure of herself. Are sure you can trust with something this important to me, she said, sounding not confident about herself handling this task. Naruto walked right up her and placed his hands on her shoulder. Sasam, it's not a question on you can or you can't. You do. I have complete trust that you'll be able to do this, Naruto said, looking straight into her eyes. Sasam's face lit up red that would make a tomato jealous at Naruto's words and his eyes. She could only see complete faith and trust in them. Thank you, Adol sensei, she said before leaving, feeling her hair about to explode at how much it was beating. He trusts me that much, I won't let him down, she thought in determination. That was sweet what you said to Sasam, St. Clair commented, wearing a small smile. If Naruto saw that smile, he would have commented on how beautiful she looks. Naruto mentally nodded. She needed a little push. I can see she has skills and works very hard. I have confidence in her skills, she can carry out the task, Naruto simply said. Siko-chan, anything on those 3 Jinchuriki? Naruto asked. He heard Siko sigh in disappointment and frustration. Sorry Koi, nothing, it seems something is blocking off my connection, she responded. That's fine, it won't matter anyway. We are going to extract their powers to restore your own and leave them with only just enough to live, Naruto said, while sighing, looking over one last time on the seal he made. When this works, we'll be able to retrieve your chakra without having to kill the Biju or the Jinchuriki, Naruto said. Yes, it would be a shame to just kill them now that they have a life. All creatures deserves a chance at life, Siko said. Scene change. Everything is in place, Mei Samao said to the auburn-haired beauty. Mei nodded. Good, if Adol's plan works, then it should give yous a bit of an advantage and a boost in morale. Just then Naruto appeared beside her. Adol, good you're here. Tell me, do you think we can win this battle? I mean nothing short of a miracle that maybe we could win this. But do you believe we can win, she asked looking at the oncoming enemy forces. Naruto let a small smile grace his lips at her question. If their will is strong enough then we can, Naruto said, gesturing to the rebel shinobis preparing to die for freedom, and I don't believe in miracles happening. He stopped again, as a large explosion followed by a powerful quake suddenly happened, decimating the enemy forces. You make them happen, Naruto finished. At the same time Naruto was conversing with Mei, and just a few seconds before the massive explosion and quake, Sasam was patiently waiting for the enemy to get into place. Not yet, note yet a little more. Then her alert seal signaled her that the enemy was in place. Kai, she shouted. The lad filled was bathed with blood as the seals activate. Everyone, Naruto shouted, gaining their attention, but they didn't took their eyes off the battlefield. Remember this day, as it will be yours forever. So don't falter, don't hesitate, and don't stop for a single second as you charge right into the battle, for today marks a new chapter in history. So what are you all waiting for? Charge, Naruto shouted the last part. Then charged straight into the battle. Followed by a loud war cry by every single man and woman fighting to end the tyranny and gain their freedom. But Naruto. Faded circlet double blitzes. Naruto, while holding overture in gun mode, detonated the spheroids of chakra, taking out the Kiri Shinobis. Yelp by pain as their bodies were pierced, feeling their inside burn. It was an agonizing death to say the least. Naruto fired off several Ringa, adding a bit more chakra for multiple target neutralization. Naruto spun around as he felt a presence behind him. Naruto quickly switched back into blade mode to block the incoming attack. Naruto sensed another charge at him from behind. Using the impact momentum, Naruto quickly sidestepped and got behind the first nin and pushed him directly at the incoming attack. It was too late to dodge as the blade pierced the man's heart. Naruto switch overture to gun mode and shoot the guy's head clean off. Otenchikyu no Hashira Earth Release Earth Pillars. Naruto shoot straight up into the air and stood on top of the earth pillar. He made Raiten Kaminari Chisei lightning release thunder rain. Massive volts of electricity struck the battlefield. Those who were unfortunate were crisp, while those who were able to dodge found themselves stunned. Naruto quickly dispatched them using flash step. Naruto glanced at the Kiri Shinobis and saw fear in their eyes. WW what are why you, one of them said fearfully. When he finished his sentence, Naruto was suddenly in front of him. Your death, he heard Naruto say before being cut in half. Naruto felt a familiar chakra signature behind him. Konan-chan, are the traps placed? Naruto said, turning around to meet her beautiful face. Yes, Adol, everything is in place. All you need to do is to lure them in, Konan said impassively. Glancing left and right as the enemy surrounded them. Konan made a single hand sign, then paper spikes shoot up from the ground, surprising the enemy shinobis. Naruto whistle. When did you have time to do this? He asked casually. Konan smirked. Ever since we arrived, though I had more place if it weren't for your seal, she said lightly, glaring at him. Naruto raised his hands defensively. Hey, I didn't know you placed those, he said. Then they both felt a large chakra signature coming their way. It seems our guest of honor has arrived, Konan said, spreading her paper wings. Yes, it seems so, I better go meet them, Naruto said with a bit of excitement in his voice, though Konan had a worried look on her face, which Naruto saw. Konan-chan, I'll be fine, okay. Besides, I got my two partners with me along with Siko-chan, Naruto reassured. I know you strong, Naruto-kun, but I couldn't help but still worry for a bit. Just don't do anything too reckless, she said worryingly. Naruto smiled at her concern and understood why she was, considering Naruto was about to face 3 Jinchuriki. Naruto gave her a quick kiss to reassure her that he'll be fine. I'll get serious, so don't have to worry, just make sure everything is in its place, okay. Konan nodded with a small blush on her face and flew off, while Naruto went on to greet the incoming guest. But the others? Peyton Harakiato and no Jutsu fire release. Hellcat flame technique. A wave of brilliant dark blue-colored flames forming a massive cat painted the battlefield, burning all the who were unfortunate enough to get caught to ash. Nice going, kitten, show them who's top cat around here. The two-tailed cat praised her container. Their frontliners are weak, probably around Chunin. They're reserving their elites for the last push, Jito thought, as she slash opened an enemy shinobi's throat open with her cat-like nails or claws. Then she felt a spike in chakra from Naruto's direction. It seems my siblings are heading towards your mate, Kitten Nibi said, feeling her older sibling's chakra signature. Yes, it seems the three-tailed container is eager to end this war, and his not my mate Nibi. She growled at her tailed beast partner. The cat giggled at that. Sure he isn't, Kitten, sure he isn't, Yujito sighed. She didn't have time to deal with her teasing, as she had to concentrate with the battle at hand. Yusui Rappa no Jutsu Wind Water Wild Wave Technique. Aku unleashes a wave of water which torrents towards the Kiri shinobis, while Fu's wind element enhances the wave's destructive ability. With wind, great combination there, Haku-san, Fu said to the ice user. Haku nodded to her. Yes, it was a great collaboration with our wind and water element. But don't relax yet, Fusen Haku said, pointing at the charging shinobis. Raiden. Kuroponsa lightning release. Black Panther. The incoming Kiri ninjas got electrocuted by a Black Panther which formed into a Black Panther. The technique's destructive capability was further enhanced by Fu and Haku's collaboration techniques. Samui jumped down beside the two girls. The two girls were a little surprised to see the blonde covered in black lightning. It seems I've finally mastered this technique, she said to herself. That was one powerful technique, Samui-san, and it's the first time I've seen black lightning before. Could it be a form of Kekkei Genkai, bloodline limit, Haku said. Samui shook her head in a no, it's not a Kekkei Genkai. It's a technique taught to Derry by the third Reikage, which he later taught me when he took me as his apprentice. I can't explain further as it is a village secret, she answered. Haku nodded in understanding. I understand, Samui-san. Suddenly they felt a large signature from Naruto's direction. It seems my other sisters are heading towards Adol-san. Do you think he can handle them? The Seven Tails said. Well, Adol-san wouldn't face the three of them if he didn't have a plan in mind. We'll have to have faith in him, and besides Konan-san is with him, so he should be fine, Fu said as she dodges a barrage of kunai. A loud painful cry was heard, and a massive fist made from hair was seen. They say a girl's hair is her favorite tool. Oh, how right they are, Katohem said, weaving her into spikes before stabbing several shinobis with it. Then she sighed. I'm going to need a lot more conditioner if I want to remove this filth later, she said to herself. Katohem then felt heat behind her and turned around to see a sea of lava flowing through the battlefield, courtesy of one mate Terumi. Button. Senjinkai boil release. Acid vapor. Sucking up the smoke left from her earlier technique, Mei unleashes a vapor of hot corrosive that was like acid. Melting any Kiri shinobi who survive her earlier attack. Such a waste of fine young men, though they couldn't hold a candle to a Dole Kunfufu, Mei said, getting a small pink blush thinking about Naruto. An impressive technique, Mei-san, though I have to ask. How does your hair stay straight after being exposed to such hot gas? Katohem complimented, then asked. Well, it's thanks to my conditioner, of course. A girl has to look her best even in the battlefield, Mei replied. Katohem nodded, agreeing at her words. I agree completely, if you can lend me some of that conditioner of yours. In exchange for some information about Adol Kun's likes, Katohem said, knowing full well her interest in Naruto. Mei thought about it for a moment and nodded, knowing full well both would benefit from this, both friendly and selfishly. The sound of shinobi screaming in pain as the demon of the mist was cutting his way through ninja after ninja with extreme precision. So, that seal Lee gave me is becoming very effective, he thought. Earlier Naruto had given Zabuza, along with every other rebel shinobis, a seal that would basically enhance his or her ability to its most output. It was called in the zone. The seal name was. Zabuza didn't ask where Naruto got the name. He was more inclined on using the seal after Naruto explained what it can do. Zabuza saw 4 water dragons coming his way and channeled his chakra into his blade with one swipe. He destroyed the jutsu like it was nothing, then cut down the 4 shinobis who sent the jutsu at him. The only drawback is the time limit, which was only 5 minutes. Even if I got 6 of them, prolonged use will have a hard toll on the body, Zabuza taught as he remembered the warning Naruto gave him. But Zabuza didn't have time to worry about that. His only main concern was finishing this war. So that bastard is finally here, he thought as he sent Sugura, hey, give them hell, kid, and with that he continued with the onslaught. Mabui-chan, has everything been set into place? Naruto asked over the radio. Yes, everything is set, Mabui responded. But when I give the signal, transport the package to the marker I place, Naruto instructed and heard a yes as her reply. Just then 3 individuals down. The first person was a tall man wearing a red-colored armor that had steam coming off it from the back side of it. The second person had red hair, mustache and a beard which tapered off to a point. And the last person was the 4th Mizukage himself. He had messy, light gray hair, pink pupilless eyes, and a stitch-like scar running from under his left eye. Konan, what can you tell me about the 5 tails and 4 tails? Jinchuriki, Naruto asked over the radio. These 2 are Han Jinchuriki of the Gobi, or the 5-tailed Hours Dolphin, and Rashi Jinchuriki of the Yonbi, or the 4-tailed ape. Both of them are missing shinobis from Iwagakure, Konan informed him. Naruto nodded and used his sensing ability to get a reading on the 3 Jinchuriki and found that they were under a powerful jutsu. Interesting, I'll find out more once me and Konan-chan defeat them, Naruto thought. So you're the punk that's been helping these abomination. I'll make sure your death along with those stain of humanity are slow and agonizing. That I can promise you, Yugura said with pure hatred and venom in his voice. You can try, Naruto said in a monotone voice. Then summoned Senbonzakura on his left hand and Zangetsu on his right hand. Clear-chan, Yuzuki-chan, are you both ready? Naruto asked his 2 partners. Always, they said in unison. Naruto smirked and struck first Jutsuga Tensho Moonfang Heaven Piercer. Piercer of Heaven. The 5-tailed Jinchuriki wasn't lucky as he took the full front of Naruto's attack while the other 2 were able to dodge at the last second. Suiton. Suro no Jutsu water release. Water dragon technique. Naruto jumped out of the way as 5 massive water dragons courtesy of the mad Mizukage, but Yagura quickly followed his technique with Suiton. Mizu Tordento Yari water release. Water trident spear. 100 trident spears exploded out of the water targeting the young 10-tailed Jinchuriki. Shoten. Susha Heki Hachi no Jin crystal release. Jade crystal wall 8 formation. Seeing the chance of dodging and blocking each water spear would prove difficult, Naruto quickly concentrated his elemental chakra to create a massive crystal wall, blocking the hundreds of water spears. Yagen Funka no Jutsu lava eruption technique. Naruto jumped out of the way as lava shoot up from the ground. Naruto looked to his left to see the 4-tailed Jinchuriki hands clamp on the ground. Suddenly hot steam surrounded him. Shit, Naruto mentally curse as he spotted the 5-tailed Jinchuriki. Naruto jumped out of the way just in time as he saw the ground started melting from the intense heat. My turn, Naruto said. Scatter, Naruto muttered. Senbonzakura's blade started separating into 1,000 tiny, slender blade fragments, which fly away from the hilt, leaving only the sword's handle in Naruto's hands. Creating a dazzling display of Sakura-like petals, which was both dangerous and beautiful. Naruto, I'll control the blade petals to me, as you haven't yet have full training in using this technique, Claire said. Naruto mentally nodded at her words. A dazzling display, but if that is all that butter knife can do then you are good as dead, Rashi said mockingly before making 2 hand seals. Kaiten. Gonkyu fire release great blaze ball. Rashi exhales a meteor-sized sphere of fire and cases a massive explosion around the Naruto. Its over eye enhanced the jutsu with some of the app's chakra he should, but Rashi was cut off by a black wave of energy. The 2 Jinchuriki's eyes nearly fell off their eye socket as they saw Naruto clearly not phased or having a single scratch on his body, not even a single torn cloths. You see, right before Rashi's attack could make contact, the blade petals encased Naruto inside a protective cocoon, thus blocking the attack. Once the attack cleared, Naruto quickly sent a Jutsuga aiming at the 4-tailed ape Jinchuriki. Naruto wasn't worried at all since he trusted Claire with his life and knew he'll be safe in her capable hands. That comment got Claire to blush a bit as Naruto thought it out aloud. Taking their momentary shock, Naruto quickly flashed in front of the 5 tails and slashed his chest with a Jutsuga enhanced blade, causing Han to scream in pain. Naruto swiftly kicked him, sending him crushing to a large boulder. Yagura tried, the word tried, to attack Naruto with water jutsu, but the blade petals block his attack, preventing the jutsu from reaching Naruto. Naruto got behind the Mizukage, slashing him from behind and gave a swift drop kick, planting Yagura's face to the ground. That should do it, Naruto thought as jump out of the way. As a mass of red energy erupted from Yagura, it seems you got them mad enough to transform to their Biju form, Siko said, looking at the 3 large chakra beasts from inside Naruto. That's the idea, Naruto said, also looking at the 3 large beasts in front of him. Be ready, I'm bringing our guest over to the party, Naruto said over the radio. We're ready, Sensei, Sasum voice said in confirmation. Naruto Dojutsu Eye came blazing to life as he activated it, as 3 purple ball of chakra was released from the 3 chakra beats, causing a massive explosion, clearing the surrounding area and creating a massive crater, and standing in the middle was Naruto, standing tall without a single scratch. Naruto quickly flash stepped between the 3 Biju, catching them off guard and focus his Dojutsu, sending the 3 beasts flying from 3 sides. Naruto felt winded using this technique, but it was necessary to have their full attention solely on him for his plan to work. All 3 Biju gave a thunderous roar of anger and charged at Naruto at nearly blinding speed. Naruto started running back, leading the 3 to a secluded area where Mabui, Konan, and Sasum were waiting. Naruto quickly made 10 enhanced clones move into place. All the clones nodded and moved in their designated place. Everyone saw the 3 beasts closing in their place. Wait for it now, Naruto shouted. All 3 Biju roared as they found themselves trapped by a sealing jutsu. Naruto quickly made a malleable chakra rods and embedded in the 3 Bijus. Naruto-kun, do it now, Siko shouted inside his head. Naruto mentally nodded and began transferring the Biju's chakra into a transfer seal. The seals works in transferring enough of the tailed beast's chakra into Naruto's own, allowing Siko to regain her chakra and leaving just enough for the Bijus to survive. The 3 women noticed that each Biju started to shrink in size. Small guys, just a bit more, Naruto said, feeling the surge of chakra entering his body, causing him to heavily breathe and sweat high. All 3 women said in unison. Soon the Bijus vanish, returning to their individual seals, leaving their exhausted Jinchuriki, who were out of chakra. What ha you had on a tired, Yagura asked. Naruto wiped the bead of sweat from his forehead and said, I simply returned what was taken. Was the last thing all 3 Jinchuriki heard before getting knocked out by Konan. Naruto-kun, you need to rest, the chakra transfer took a large strain on your body, specifically your chakra coils, Yuzuki said in a soft tone. Naruto nodded. Konan, I'm sorry, but you'll have to carry me, Naruto said before slipping into unconscious. Konan caught her lover in her arms and whispered complimenting words into his ears. Inform everyone that the war is over, and as for these three, Conan gazed coldly on the three full in Jinjuriki and wrapped them in a cocoon of paper. May will decide on their fate, I'll attend to it, old Conan said before attending to her sleeping lover. And what if Naruto snaps at his family harem? End here, and thanks for watching my video till the end.